An attempt to alleviate tensions in the South China Sea.
China and the Philippines have reached a deal in an effort to stop clashes at a fiercely disputed shoal. China and the Philippines have made an agreement that they hope will end confrontations between the two nations in the South China Sea. The most notable dispute is over the second Thomas Shoal, which the Philippines occupies. A crucial deal was reached that aimed to establish a mutually acceptable arrangement at the shoal without conceding either side's territorial claims. China has disputes with several governments over land and sea borders, many of them in the South China Sea. The rare deal with the Philippines could spark hope that similar arrangements could be forged by Beijing with other rival countries. I'm Karen Chamas.
As the world continues to recover from massive business and travel disruptions caused by Friday's faulty software update, malicious actors are trying to exploit the situation for their own gain. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Secret Service acknowledges it denied some past requests by Donald Trump's campaign for tighter security.
After the July 13th assassination attempt on Donald Trump while he was speaking at a rally in Pennsylvania.
Take a look at what happened.
The Secret Service denied rejecting requests from his team for increased security. Now the agency acknowledging it had turned back some requests in the years before the shooting in which Trump says a bullet pierced his ear and a rally attendee was killed. House Speaker Mike Johnson on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos says the job of the Secret Service is protection.
It's the number one job of the Secret Service, not anything else. And I think Director Cheadle has shown the world and said that she has different priorities. She needs to go.
Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle expected to appear Monday at a congressional hearing on the matter. I'm Julie Walker.
Correspondent Julie Walker reporting. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil is said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to it.
Yes, sir.
Hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. Another wild weekend.
Yeah, it was
in the news and everything.
A lot of stuff going on.
Of course, you're having kind of a getaway weekend.
It was sort of like a respite from the real world, but at the same time, we were getting texts and phone calls as things were happening.
Yeah. Of course, weekend before, it was the assassination attempt on Trump, and now this weekend we get the president saying he's not running for. He's suspending his campaign for president.
Shocker. I don't think anybody was asking for that. I don't know why. That just came out of nowhere. I don't know why he decided to just step out.
Out of the blue.
We were rooting for you. What happened, Joe?
Out of the blue. Which now, of course, begs questions like, okay, what about now? Like
what
right
about
now? You're the president. What are we doing, Harry? And so those questions are going to go.
I think he's still our president until January.
Well, he is, but people are saying, wait a minute, if you're not with it to run for president, what about right now? Are you with it to be president currently? But and then of course, with the vice president assuming, the president endorsing her, and now we get to sit back and eat popcorn and see what with the Democrats, how the Democrat convention and all that unfolds, and see how all that shapes up. But see if she does in fact end up the nominee. But she's the front runner at the moment, and all signs point to her at the moment. But you know how this world works. It can change in a minute. So.
On the drop of a dime.
So till the DNC, I guess we'll have to wait and see who the official nominee will be.
Long as
a lot of rhyme in
DNC
there.
and not a DNR, because that's about what the Biden administration has at this point.
But yeah, so anyway, busy weekend there.
It was.
But
weather-wise too, you guys got some downpour from what I heard.
we did. According now, this is nothing official, but in my neighborhood, was it Sunday morning? Yeah, Sunday morning. We got the notice on our Facebook that our neighborhood, whoever the people that are keeper of the rain gauges in our neighborhood, said we got like an inch of rain.
Oh wow!
Saturday into Sunday at some point there. So I don't know. That's by no means official. That's just what the one in our neighborhood said. So,
right.
But that's the only one I've seen. So we'll go with. We got about an inch of rain, probably over in parts of the area there. So and we got more rain on the way.
Oh yeah,
allegedly. So at least today. After today and tonight. Probably not for a couple days, but
back into the 90s. But hey, low 80s for the high today. That'll be nice.
Yeah, 81 officially here, with a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms this afternoon.
It was
cloudy for the day, although it's partly cloudy at the moment.
It was pretty torrential, like the entire way back.
Was it?
Like the whole way, like from, I would say probably from Trinidad, all the way down was just nonstop storming. Until about 20 miles outside of Roswell. And then it started to kind of dissipating.
And the cow farts block
our methane bubble.
But so, for folks not familiar, if you're tuning in Friday and noticed there was no Sean. Sean and matter of fact, and so did Jocelyn.
Yep.
And other group of friends all went up to Colorado.
Yes.
For an AJR concert. And extracurricular activities.
It was so nice to just for a minute, to say, "Oh, I'm going to go see AJR," and to not have the immediate response go,
"Who?
Not even who? Who the hell is that? What, did I offend you by my choice of music?"
Right.
Like, okay, and this is another thing. One of the people who commented on my page, I won't mention his name. He is a prolific concert goer. He goes to all sorts of different concerts, and he always puts on Facebook, "Love music. You know, you should love music, respect music, enjoy what you enjoy. Don't let people." The second he's like, "Who'd you go see?" I'm like, "AJR they opened or Almost Monday, and MXM Tune opened up, and it was just 4 question marks." I'm like, you of all people don't need to judge. But yeah, it was awesome to be amongst my people. And it was really funny too, because they mentioned that in the opening of the concert.
Right.
Like there's a big open, it's this kind of like this voiceover, and it said, "To finally be in a room full of people who understand what you're talking about."
Right.
When you say, "I like AJR."
You know, when you say this, and I'm not playing devil's advocate, I'm just throwing a thought out there.
Sure.
Do you think you would like AJR as much if everyone knew who they were and liked them? Like, do you think part of the allure is that you feel like you're in a little clique or a club?
Kind of, but also I like AJR because of the time of what I was going through at the time when I discovered the band.
Gotcha.
Like
and I think that's how most people gravitate to music, how it hits them at a certain point in time and just, resonates.
If it was a more well-known band, I probably wouldn't be as in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it would just be kind of nice every now and again.
Right.
To not have to and then hum a few bars.
Right. Well, and then I will go, because I'm on the opposite of what you're saying right now. And I'd say it's not always a picnic there either. And let me give you for instance, as if anybody's listening to the show at any period of time knows that Metallica is my favorite band.
Sure.
I pretty much like Metallica, and that's it, of course, as far as music goes. That being said, it's like being the fan of the Yankees, the Cowboys,
or the Patriots.
You know what I mean? Everyone's like, and I'm like, no, I liked them when I was,
I liked
little,
them
and
before it was cool.
When I saw their first video on MTV, and I'm like, this is different than the other ones. It just hit me, And
at the same time, I can't imagine that they're that obscure because if you're not familiar, the Ball Arena is where the concert went down. That's where the Avalanche plays.
It's a major venue.
It's a hockey / basketball stadium, and this thing was full. I mean, the sides were. I'll get into where I was sitting in a second, but it was full, and they had 2 nights. It was 2 concerts over the course of 2 nights. They had over 23,000 people in that arena.
Where was their next closest concert?
I don't even know. I'm not even sure. But they actually added the second night for Denver because ticket sales were up like that.
That's cool. But so overall, back to the philosophies.
Right.
How was the concert?
It was awesome. Now I got my tickets last Black Friday. Got them on special. I was like, they shouldn't be this cheap. There's no way.
Gotcha.
Well, I discovered why. So we get to the concert, and first of all,
I saw your picture on Facebook. Is that why?
That's part of it. We walk around the entirety of the Ball Arena, the entirety of the I think second floor that we were on. And I thought we were looking for the area to enter to get to our seats. Come to find out, for 20 minutes, I was walking around following somebody because they were looking for food. It was because where our seats were, she's like, we're not going to want to get up after this. So we get in the concert. Almost Monday, one of the opening acts was playing already. So it's all dark. So we get to the place, like to the door, and we go down, and I'm like, okay, so it's going to be up here, I know, but where? So we start climbing, and then I think, okay, well, this is, the normal bleacher seats. Okay, cool. And then we keep climbing. And then at one point, I'm pretty sure I was handed an oxygen mask. We get to where, she said it's like row 11. So we get to where our seats were. For a good solid hour, I didn't feel like it was a seat.
Wow.
The best way I can describe it, and this is how I explained it to my friends, I felt like a wall sconce. Like I felt like I was hanging there. Like I had
to belt you in.
I had my AJR hat, I had my loaded tots, I had my bottle of water, and I was just sitting there like this.
Are we still at Waterworld?
Terrified that I was going to accidentally pitch forward and snowball down the arena. We were very high up.
Wow.
Like I could have reached up and touched the drop ceiling at the very, very top.
I've been in those scenarios.
That being said, they were really good seats for where they were.
You get the overall view of everything.
The overall view of the crowd, but also we were dead center.
Okay.
So like the stage and the way AJR sets up is they utilize a screen behind them and both giant screens here because it's a very visual band.
Sure.
So all the visuals, crisp, clear, no problem. It was just kind of getting to see like the actual concert itself. And the side monitors showed, the majority of the action happening on stage. But like all the lights and stuff, I could kind of take it in from the full perspective of the lasers and everything.
Sure.
And then the crowd too. Like just being at the very top, seeing everybody in the crowd.
You get the sea of emotion with the concert.
It was quite the experience.
Yeah.
I absolutely enjoyed it.
Well, and I get that because like I said, I was kind of up close for this New Kids concert. And like I said, at some point when it was New Kids and it was in full blown concert, that's when I at one point turned around and I was like, whoa, there's a lot of people here, But I got lost in that because of where I'm at.
Right.
Where you, from your perspective, you never got to lose that perspective. You're like, no, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And it was really overall enjoyable. The crowd was very hot, very into it. We started a whole arena-wide wave beforehand, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Opening acts were fantastic. Almost Monday, again, Almost Monday and MXM2, not exactly the most known artists, but they definitely rocked the house.
Do they still do a Vans Warped Tour? Because I feel like they're
I don't think
right
they do a Warped Tour, yeah, but they would be.
But they would be bands that which you would find at the Warped Tour.
Yeah, they would fit right in. The way I explained it was I leaned over to Misty at one point and said, so basically, if you have like 3 hits on TikTok, that's how you book the stadium tour. But my vertigo, that was really kicking for the first good hour of the concert because I wouldn't do this, but the intrusive thought was if I stand up and lose my balance and just accidentally trip forward, I'm taking out probably 30 people on my way down.
Oh, that'll stop you.
There's one rail like about 5 rows down. That would stop me.
Concert people are strong. They crowd surf.
But yeah, concert was fantastic.
Nice.
They rocked that, knocked down the roof. It was a great show. Before that, we went to the conversion station over at Meow Wolf. And that was awesome. I will say this. Denver is bigger. The Meow Wolf in Denver is bigger. Santa Fe is better.
Gotcha.
There's more.
What's the OG?
There's more interactivity.
Yeah.
At Santa Fe.
Gotcha.
Like there's a lot of really cool visuals in the Denver one, but not enough of it's like, oh, that's a door that leads to a different part of the building.
Sure.
Whereas like in Santa Fe, you can open the washing machine, climb inside, and you're all of a sudden in another room.
Gotcha.
That's kind of the cool part of Santa Fe. But not to take anything away from the conversion station, it was a fun time.
Sure.
There were a couple of times that my group was over here waiting for like an elevator or something, and I was like, there was one moment specifically, I kind of looked over and I was like, "What's that over there?" And I kind of pulled a curtain back, and next thing I know, I'm completely lost in a room of mirrors.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, so I find the way out. But then I realized the way out is a completely different wing of the building, and I would have lost my group. So now I had to go back through the maze to find the other entrance. Halfway through, somebody had to come in and rescue me because the elevator was there, and I was holding up the group. But
they just have to keep people in there like, go towards the light.
It's most of the activities we participated in this weekend. I would not recommend taking young children to.
Okay,
it was
a lot of confusion.
A lot of loud noises.
So did you get to Waterworld?
No, we didn't end up doing that. It was because the weather was
was not Waterworld worthy.
Yeah, we just kind of did some shopping. Went down to the 18th Street Mall.
Okay,
just kind of wandered around. Took in Denver a little bit because there's a lot to take in.
Any cool unique eats or anything?
There were some really cool artwork, some cool murals. We went a couple times because I had to pick up and drop off my sister. We ventured to the Denver airport, and that is, there's a whole different world out there.
Oh, it's busy out there.
It's busy, but there's like all kinds of different like visuals to. I mean, the Mustang is one thing. That big blue Mustang with the bright red eyes.
Yeah.
But there's like trippy visuals in the actual airport itself. There's like Masonic symbolism and like all this stuff on the walls.
Is it a Mustang or a Bronco?
That's a Bronco, I guess. Technically. I don't know.
I
have bad horse sense.
There's not a Bronco. That's all right. I was doing a remote on Saturday at Betty's Western Wear, and Fair Week is this week, by the way. Chaves County and Eddy County fairs get underway. We will have the livestock shows for you if you can't be out at the various shows. KSVPTV.com. There is a Eddy County Fair channel and a Chaves County Fair channel. You find them all there. But anyway, I was doing the remote, and I was interviewing a young lady who was buying her shirts and everything for next week at the fair. And I asked what she was showing, and she said yearlings. And so I had the interview with her. And then right after the interview, my boss and the one of the ladies goes, how long in the interview did before you realized a yearling was a horse? I said, that's what it is? I had no idea. So I know what you're talking about there. I was like, I just did a whole interview about a horse. I didn't know it was a horse.
I have bad horse sense. The other thing is, it was kind of cool. Our Airbnb. So we get to where we're staying, and it's just a normal house, front door, back door. There's like a shed in the back, or whatever. So the instructions that we got were to go to the back door. Okay.
New England clam chowder.
So we go to the back door, we unlock the door, and there's a staircase down. So basically this house is split into two separate houses.
Okay.
One above and one below.
Come on, knock on our door.
So the whole time we were there, we felt like hidden Jews. We were like, we don't want to make a lot of noise because we don't want to alert the people up and above us or whatever. But we were in the underground house. It was very cool. At one point, we were in the kitchen, kind of just milling about, and the people who own the house, they have like chickens and stuff, and there's a window right here in the kitchen, but the window is literally ground floor. So there's grass, and we're just sitting there drinking coffee, whatever. Next thing we know, there's a chicken just hanging out in our window, just staring at us like we were the chicken's entertainment.
Oh, there's people in here.
Yeah, we were there to entertain them.
Come on, Sue, check out the people in the house.
But yeah, no. Overall, it was a good trip. Long drive, but otherwise,
good.
No hurt feelings. Everybody was happy in the end.
Everybody got along and had a good time. Well, that's the main thing. Well, good. Glad to hear it. Awesome. let me give you the rundown.
Yes.
I'll just look at the time and everything. We're going to replay an interview this hour, but we got a couple of guests for you in the 8 and 9 o'clock hour. So this hour, we're going to replay our interview with the folks from the Literacy Council. We spoke with them for about 15 minutes last week, so we're going to play that here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico join us. With her will be 4 of the members of the Lions Hondo Little League World Series baseball team, the 1956 Lions Hondo team. And, of course, tonight is Historical Society night out at the Roswell Invaders game. And so they're going to have, of course, we had Dewey Johnson on last week with his book. He's going to be at the game there. And they're going to be honoring with the Historical Society the Lions Hondo Little League World Series team. Farrell Dunham, Jimmy Valdez, Tommy Jordan, and David Sherrod will be joining us with Amy and they are 4 members of that Little League team there. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Elliot Rodriguez with Lone Depot will be joining us. He'll have a guest with him as well, Angelica Leva with Harwell and Associates Real Estate.
Nice.
So now he brought, because he's the money guy. Now he brought
He's bringing the property people into things.
But and every time he joins us, we always have great conversations about buying homes and all that good stuff. The what to do's and the what the not to do's. What the not to do.
The what don't to do's.
Feels like that's a book or something. And then, of course, we'll have all of your features that include the news, the local, national variety, all that good stuff.
Yes, indeed.
All right, it is 7:24. We did all that just to delay. Our computers were goofy this morning, and we needed to let some stuff transfer. Right. Now that's happened, we can start the show. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Elevated chances for showers with thunderstorms back in the forecast area wide for today. Some of these producing some extremely heavy rain. So please be careful as you're heading out and about. High temperatures are ranging right around 80 to 83 degrees for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Start to dry out through the latter half of tonight. Our low right around 65. Chances for wet weather lower on Tuesday. The high mid to upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 84%. Winds currently out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Today we are looking at a decent chance at rain, 60% chance for showers and possibly a thunderstorm this afternoon. Mostly cloudy and a high of only 81 today with winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. They're saying expect between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of rain possible during the day today. Tonight, we are looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 64 degrees. Winds will be out of the east, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, anywhere between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch of rain possible this evening. Unless we do get a thunderstorm, that could increase those amounts there. And then Tuesday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, 88 for a high. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 65 degrees. Winds out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny and a high of 93 on Wednesday. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, we are looking at sunny skies and a high of 96. Sunny and 95 on Friday. And then weekend, 95 on Saturday. Slight chance of rain Saturday night and 97 on sunny on Sunday. So looks like today and tonight are best chances for rain for this week, and then probably going to button that up till maybe the weekend, Saturday night. But it is New Mexico. That all changes pretty quickly around here. All right, it is 27 minutes after 7. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You get your Roswell Livestock Report in with Smiley Wooten, and then we're going to play our interview with the folks from the Roswell Literacy Council. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Upgrade from your old vehicle into a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle for less during the summer sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. From now till the end of the month, Roswell Ford needs to sell 58 new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance by select new Ford models with approved credit.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good July run this week with some decent rain showers in the drawing area and a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high quality native calves, light yearlings. We expect to sell 850 head. Breaking down like this: 125 weight cows and bulls, 75 pairs of bred cows, 650 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 20 to 25 cow-calf pairs, mostly black, white-face Angus crosses, bred to excellent quality black Angus bulls, 6 to 10 years old, 10 bred cows, excellent quality black, white-face Angus crosses, running with Angus and Charolais bulls, 5 to 9 years old, 15 Corriente bred cows and pairs, big frame, mostly solid colors, bred to black bulls, 5 to 9 years old, 74 dairy cross calves, Corrales Dairy, right here at Roswell, excellent quality black dairy crosses, 27 steers, 37 heifers, shots, bunk broke, sorted into uniform bunches, 375 600 pounds, 80 calves and light yearlings, Sally Walker Ranch, Alamogordo, New Mexico, good quality black Angus and Brangus crosses, cattle weaned 90, 120 days, thin condition, right off grass, 375 500 pounds, 52 calves, Northcott Ranch, Hobbs, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus cross calves, Cattle Master 5, 7-way Somnus at Brandon, 350 500 pounds, 26 steer calves, Mr. Wayne Netherland at Artesia, ex-quality black and black white Angus crosses, Bow Shield Gold, 8-way, 400 600 pounds, 40 calves, WP Ranches, Pecos, Texas, ex-quality Charolais crossbred calves, medium condition, 375 575 pounds, 28 light yearlings, Mr. Jim Espy at Fort Davis, Texas, ex-quality black and black white face Angus crossbred yearlings, medium condition, right off grass, 500 700 pounds, 25 to 30 rope and size calves in the sale today. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 9:30. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10. Fairly short on cows and bulls today, so don't be late. We expect to sell 850 head. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Literacy Council, of course, Larry Martin back with us, and Richard Garcia and David Hecht as well. Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good morning. Very good. Good morning. Very good.
Of course, for folks not familiar, it's been a minute since we've had the Literacy Council on. Folks, if you're not familiar, the Roswell Literacy Council is a group of volunteers that help people become literate, and whether it's if they're becoming English as a second language, if it's just lack of literacy skills, or trying to get a high school equivalency, or or even you help people with citizenship status, things like that. You kind of anything in that world, you free of charge help people navigate through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, correct. Go ahead, David.
I said correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and anything I'm missing, of course, fill in the blanks there. I just kind of gave a kind of a general scope of things.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, but this is all volunteer, and the services that we provide are for the community. And you just touch on base exactly what we actually do. We try to prepare people for their citizenship. We try to people that want to learn, that are Hispanic, or that want to learn English, or there's others that want to learn Spanish.
Sure.
We can provide those services free of charge.
By the way, the younger you expose your children to both languages, the better you're serving them for a lot of other things too, not just being fluent in two languages.
Well, I think for the kids or the young adults, it will help them in school.
Absolutely.
The thing about it is they'll be able to communicate and understand. I know that some of us come from a background in education and other fields of our employment, but this even helps the school district. That we do the tutoring. We do the tutoring at the Youth Challenge, and
kind of filling in the gaps where gaps in the line where other places have resources, but maybe they're overwhelmed or understaffed. And you guys are coming in and say, well, let us help meet those needs in these situations.
And the thing about it is, it's in any organization, it's hard to always find volunteers. Always.
Absolutely.
And you see right here, we're part of the board. We make decisions that benefit not only the Literacy Council, but the community. I'll pass it over to Larry, and he can give us a little bit more background about the hours and stuff of availability to the community. But in closing on my part is that we are a nonprofit organization, and we do accept donations.
Absolutely.
And we need them to keep the doors open. We need them. Any organization, because we go hand in hand. The Assurance Home, Atrusa, you name it. We try to build a chain of helping each other.
And like you said, all the services you provide to folks that come through your doors, it's free of charge. So, no income there. The only income you get is, through grants and things that
right.
you have folks having, and through the generosity of the community here. And just, I imagine the material alone to help teach, whether it's to get folks through their high school diploma or literacy, just the material cost for the training tools and all the, I'm sure, pamphlets and workbooks and things that, that's not cheap. And so, money's got to, so folks, if you want to help financially, is great. But even if you want to, and I'm sure this is where Larry can kind of come in and talk a little bit more, even if you want to donate an hour or two a day or a week or whatever your availability is, that is equally appreciated and needed here. So Larry, kind of talk about some of the, as far as the volunteers' needs, what kind of things that you're looking for right now?
Well, we have an office we keep open from 9 to 4, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Trying to keep expenses down. But we have a facility, it's ours. We don't have to worry about it. We
free and clear.
We lease part of it to the Red Cross, so they just maintain an office.
They've been a little busy lately.
You betcha.
That office has been probably pretty open a lot lately. I'm just saying.
They're glad they're with us, and we are too. And we basically are looking for tutors who can do it. I mean, the three of us tutor out at the Youth Challenge, and by the way, I consider that one of the best investments the state makes. Keeps kids out of jail and out of the hospital and whatever.
Well, they create a foundation for youth.
Absolutely.
And once the foundation's there, they can go wherever they want. Yeah. And that's what they're doing. And when, whatever life challenges, that foundation wasn't quite set yet. And Youth Challenge concrete solidifies that foundation. It's an amazing program. Yeah. So you're right. Absolutely.
One of our tutors is Dr. Clark. He was in the paper 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And at 96, I believe, he's still tutoring math, which is great.
Absolutely. And, but like you said, you could use some more bodies, fresh faces coming in to reach out to these individuals and help them get to that next level.
Yeah. Generally speaking, we end up we get retired teachers or people who were teachers long ago and still want to do
Obviously,
it. Still
they have the training.
Skill. There's the training. That's right. You just can't go in and teach.
Yeah,
you have
to connect with an individual. It does take a skill set, and teachers, especially retired ones, are well versed in that.
And if I might be able to add before we pass it on, is that we also will have people that are young adults that are looking for employment. We can help them with their applications and their resumes.
Sure.
We've got the qualified people to do that, as Larry mentioned.
Excellent.
We got Mary Lou Trujillo as a director, Janie Cortez, that's in the office, and we got Joanne Mata.
Nice.
And they're all skilled and they're all knowledgeable of all these areas that we're talking about today.
So if that's kind of a hurdle for folks that are looking for work, come reach out to Literacy Council. Let's see what we can do, whether it's practicing interviews to help navigate an application or putting together a resume.
Well, some of these applications, man, they're so complex, man, that they can't really get into it.
And I just thought of another point. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I just was thinking as you're talking, but say you're the other side. Maybe you're a little seasoned. Maybe you've retired and you're looking to get back in the workforce. I hate to burst your bubble, but the resume of the day that you were applying is a lot different than the resume of today.
That's it.
You might need to reach out to the Literacy Council and let's get you up to speed on getting that process.
We can really do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
less is more nowadays.
That's it. I could probably need help filling an application.
Well, it's just funny. I was listening to Kim Commando over the weekend on the radio, and she was talking about the resumes and things, and when she's looking for people, and she says, when I see 7 and 8 page resumes, I'm like, oh boy, it's like keep it 1 to 2 pages, keep it, and they were.
That's
she was actually throwing some of those tips
story.
Out. Yeah.
Well, if you've had that many jobs, you might not be.
I think it could be red. Where you think it's experience might actually end up to be a red flag.
That's it. What about you, David? What do you got to say? Are you done, Larry, or are you not?
No, I think Larry has more.
Yeah, I bump in and get into talking.
That's my fault, right?
But we're looking for volunteers. We're looking to folks that could be tutors and various ways, or maybe you can help. Maybe you're good at. Maybe you worked at a government job filling out forms and stuff for a living. You might your skill set might be very much needed here. Well, is navigating copious amounts of forms and stuff. That can be quite intimidating for people.
Yes, it
so
is.
if you've spent a career doing that those are very helpful skills to the Literacy Council here. But even if you just have a heart to help people, that's enough. And we can, like you said, you'll train the rest to kind of teach them how to teach, and things like that. So if you have the time and the heart, then we'll figure out the rest here. But if you do have those special skills, please, we would really, really, really like you to have you come part.
If you want to see what we have, we're on West 10th Street, just west of Missouri.
Okay.
1 block.
Very good.
And I hate to say it, I can't remember the address.
609 West 10th Street.
And the phone number.
609.
Give them the phone number.
The phone number is 625-1369.
Very good. That's what they got you here, Dave, to bail them out when they.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, we're directors. We don't know anything important.
They're the heads, but you're the shoulder pointing where the head goes.
That's why I'm the president.
First, I got to spend the first minute going harumph and walk around.
But like we said, we're free. There's no obligation.
Absolutely.
You can come in and check us out if you don't like us. Whatever.
And that's
it's
just it. The other thing too is if you're in need of these services, please reach out. Please, this world is hard to navigate. Take advantage of these resources to make navigating life a little bit easier for you. Whatever it is, whether you just want to be able to converse in public better, or understand what's going on better, or read a book that maybe you couldn't read before, or if it's I want my high school diploma, I want my college degree, I want to be a U.S. citizen. Whatever it is, reach out. Let's it's sure a lot easier when you have a bunch of people in your corner than you trying to do it yourself.
Well, I think that's the whole nutshell of this thing, man. Is that we're providing a service that I wish we would have had it when I was young.
Sure.
And in school. Of course,
I got a funny feeling that's why you're involved today.
Well, I've been involved in many other organizations, as you well know.
Sure.
But, the thing about it is we live in a different time now. And it's hard. And talking about applications, I mean, there's some of these young people that, you can probably go to whether any type of job, your skills. And the important thing is learning, because we learn with them. We might teach them, but we learn with them because everybody's different.
If you're not growing every day, then you're not living.
And what we do is that we try to instill some value of what we're teaching them. It's not that we're there because we're all volunteers. We all been through this, and we're all in the same mix.
Sure.
We want, especially the youth. The youth nowadays don't want to get involved in any organizations that takes their time from being on their phones or whatever it is. But Literacy Council has been around for a long time, as well as many other of the organizations here in town. We all provide a service. The thing is that people got to take advantage of it. I'm not taking advantage of us, but taking advantage of the opportunities.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's what it's all about.
Sure.
I mean, and another thing, is that we got a fantastic facility. We got a conference room. We got a library room that if somebody wanted to have a meeting, talk to our director and people that are there that we have the facility for usage, instead of going maybe to a place that's high dollar.
Sure.
Because we got everything, and we're centrally located, man. We're just down from BCA in Washington and Missouri.
And it's quiet if you need quiet.
And it's quiet. And it's quiet.
Yeah.
But we provide that service.
Good deal.
Matter of fact, there was a TV station that wanted to rent some space there from us, and of course that never went through. But we do offer these opportunities and I could say goods to the community.
Sure.
And
like for instance, maybe there's a business that's maybe wanting to hire some people, but don't want to do that on site.
That's right. There you go. That's the word I wanted to use.
Maybe is a good place.
We're on site.
Yeah.
And Larry and David can attest to. Hey, we got a fantastic place, man. We got people can come and see it.
Sure.
Hey, if you're interested and you want to have a small meeting, hey. Well, how many people can we fit in that conference room?
20 or 30.
Okay.
20, 30, maybe even 40 with the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got a small kitchen there, and we use it, and it's right for us.
Right.
And it could be right for somebody else.
Absolutely. So come reach out. Larry, what's the best way to get a hold of you guys? Is it reach out to the phone number? I know you guys do have a Facebook page.
The phone number is, David, give the phone number.
Yeah, get that phone number one more time.
Area code 575-625-1369.
Very good. Do you guys still active with the Facebook as well, too, the Literacy Council Facebook page?
No.
No, okay. Just wanted to, because I was going to throw that out there, too. But if it's not active, then we don't need to do that. So call the phone number.
Yeah.
One more time, David.
Area code 575-625-1369.
Very good. So reach out if you'd like to volunteer, if you are in need of some of these services, if you'd like to donate, if you'd like to get involved, if whatever level here, please reach out, or if you're in need and ready to make that step to the next part in your journey here, reach out to Literacy Council and let them be in your corner and help you get there. So.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time here.
You'll see us again.
That's right. Well, imagine we got to go ahead, Larry.
We're mostly funded by the United Way, but we have a fundraiser, the Knowledge Bowl. Which
That's what I was about to hit. I'm sure there's a Knowledge Bowl that'll be on the horizon.
Yeah,
here
sometime in late September, October, we're going to have a Knowledge Bowl.
So as we get maybe a little cooler, I don't know. It's debatable in September.
Well, we'd like to come back and inform everybody about what it's all about.
Absolutely. We'll have you guys
and let's see how smart we really are.
That's right. Well,
I think we're smarter than Larry, but I don't know. Some of those questions he gives, I couldn't even remember SpongeBob.
I know it all. I just can't remember it all at once.
That's right.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. A New Mexico Silver Alert was issued Sunday for a missing man named Brett Deer. Deer is 60 years old. You can see his picture on the Roswell Police Facebook page. Deer was last seen in Roswell Saturday night, just after midnight. His direction of travel and destination were not known. If you know anything about the whereabouts of 60-year-old Brett Deer, please call 911. Police in Midland, Texas are urging people, especially women, to be on the lookout for a man described as a serial stalker. 34-year-old Santiago Granger has been identified as a suspect in a number of stalking cases in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico. Law enforcement says it believes Granger could be living in Carlsbad. He has previously worked in Odessa, Texas. You can see Granger's picture on the Midland Crime Stoppers Facebook page. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
All those streaming subscriptions are adding up. If you have them without ads, I'm talking about Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Amazon Prime, and more, you're going to pay around $150 a month. Ouch! I'm Kim Commando for Total AV, the award-winning antivirus software. Get a year protection right now for just $19 at protectwithkim.com. Everyone's tired of paying an arm and a leg for subscriptions, but some good news for you. There are now a lot of free streaming options with names like Freevee, Pluto, Tubi, or the Roku channels. They let you stream on demand just like Netflix. You click the movie or TV show that you want to watch. Now there is a cost. You have to sit through a few ads, usually 3 to 5 per half hour. Now with Amazon Prime, even if you pay for it, you're not guaranteed to get a commercial-free show. So again, those free channels, Pluto, Tubi, or Freevee, are always a good bet. And you need to protect all your devices with award-winning antivirus software. Get it now for just $19 at protectwithkim.com. Do you need statistics to finally convince you to bite the bullet and get good antivirus software? Well, here's the cold, hard truth. Ransomware makes up 68% of all cyber attacks. 72% of businesses were attacked by ransomware last year. Phishing scams are the most reported cybercrime in the United States. And last but not least, AI-powered cybercrimes are rumored to make up 85% of these scams. When you're not using antivirus software, you're at major risk, period. Don't wait for the worst to happen. Protect yourself now. My pick for antivirus security software is the award-winning Total AV. Go to protectwithkim.com right now for protection that's just $19 a year. You get antivirus protection up to 5 devices. Go to protectwithkim.com before it's too late. You don't need to be a victim. Go to protectwithkim.com. You'll get great antivirus software at 85% off. That's protectwithkim.com, protectwithkim.com.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Elevated chances for showers with thunderstorms back in the forecast area wide for today. Some of these producing some extremely heavy rain, so please be careful as you're heading out and about. High temperatures are ranging right around 80 up to 83 degrees for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Start to dry out through the latter half of tonight. Our low right around 65. Chances for wet weather lower on Tuesday, the high mid to upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Retailers Walmart and Target kicked off back-to-school sales early to try to stop Amazon's Prime Day event from siphoning U.S. sales of backpacks and laptops. Prime Day 2024 was the biggest Prime Day shopping event ever. American Airlines flight attendants have reached a deal with the company over a new contract. The deal addresses their concerns about compensation, work rules, and retroactive pay. Chrysler parent Stellantis paid $190.7 million in civil penalties for failing to meet U.S. fuel economy requirements for 2019 and 2020 and owes another $459.7 million. Retired Trump Organization executive Alan Weisselberg was released from New York City's Rikers Island jail on Friday. Weisselberg pleaded guilty in March to committing perjury during his testimony in the fraud lawsuit that New York's Attorney General brought against the former president. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water-diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating two companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is a proud supporter of the Chaves County Fair. They salute the hardworking 4-H and FFA kids in our area, striving to be their best every day. As farmers and ranchers themselves, the crew at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply knows the hard work that goes into making farming and agriculture what it is today. And from the Everyone's a Winner program to actually investing in these future farmers and ranchers during the Junior Livestock Sale, Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply is proud to support the Chaves County Fair. Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Upgrade from your old vehicle into a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle for less during the summer sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. From now till the end of the month, Roswell Ford needs to sell 58 new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select new Ford models with approved credit.
Who doesn't think the dentist is a big deal? I know what you're thinking. What will they find? How much will it hurt? What are my options? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher, and I am here to tell you that here at Carabelli Dental, it is our job to put you at ease. With options like sedation dentistry, you can rest assured that regardless of what dental work you might need, you can get it done while resting comfortably. Call our office now and speak to our knowledgeable staff about setting up your new patient appointment.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
So the weeds are taking over your property? Ask yourself, what would Jim Gill do?
This is Ben from Roswell Seed. If Jim was here, the first thing he'd do is figure out what kind of weeds you're dealing with. He'd recommend the best thing to get rid of them and show you how to use it. Then he'd probably tell you a long story about the biggest weed he ever saw.
Big or small, when problems come along, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
The new Bluebell Cookies and Cream Cheesecake is cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie-crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream-filled cookies. Again, cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie-crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream-filled cookies. Buy two.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Thriftway Supermarket in Ruidoso and all Farmers Country Markets.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 7:59. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. We're going to be joined by Amy McVeigh-Tejas with the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico and some members of the Lions Hondo Little League World Series Championship team from the 1956 team. Tonight, Invaders Night. The Historical Society's going to be a part of Invaders game tonight out at Joe Bauman Stadium. And, of course, we had Dewey on, and they had their Sunday Fun Day talking about his book yesterday. But tonight is the big game out at Joe Bauman with the Invaders. And so we'll talk with they're actually going to be part of the first pitch and everything out there tonight. So we'll chit-chat and talk a little baseball next hour. By the way, don't forget Chavez County Fair and the Eddy County Fair are getting underway this week. So get on out to the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds and, of course, for folks in Eddy County. But if you can't, we are live streaming the livestock shows on our website, ksvptv.com. Click on the Chavez County Fair channel to watch Chavez County Fair, Eddy County Fair to watch Eddy County Fair livestock shows. But those will get fired up later this week today, actually, I believe, on some of those shows. All right, 8 o'clock. We'll be back.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. There's been no shortage of global reaction to the news that President Biden is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he will not be drawn into whether he endorses Kamala Harris as the new Democratic nominee.
The Democrats will have their convention just as the Republicans had their convention last week. I think that the election in November will be one which is watched by Australians but watched by people around the world because who the President of the United States is has an impact on the world as the world's largest economy.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said he recognized Mr. Biden's, quote, desire to make the best possible political decision. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance is holding his first solo campaign appearances today.
Republican and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance is scheduled to hold a rally in his hometown of Middletown this afternoon, and he's scheduled to appear at a second rally this evening in Radford, Virginia. The appearances will come one day after President Joe Biden dropped out of the race, leaving the Democratic ticket unsettled. Before the Biden announcement, Vance had expected to eventually face Vice President Kamala Harris in a debate. Trump's campaign plans to use Vance in Rust Belt states that are seen as pivotal for Democrats' path to the White House. I'm Donna Warder.
The Israeli military has ordered the evacuation of part of an area in the Gaza Strip. It's designated a humanitarian zone. The military announced that Hamas militants have embedded themselves in the area. On Wall Street, the Dow is off 26 points. The Nasdaq, meanwhile, is up 210. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Assassination attempt. Former President Donald Trump said he will undo all of President Biden's policies if he's elected in November.
The Trump-Vance administration will begin rapidly reversing every single Biden-Harris disaster starting on day one. And when you vote for Biden, you're probably voting indirectly for Harris anyway, whether you like it.
The joint rally with Ohio Senator J.D. Vance on Saturday was the first for the pair since they became the GOP's nominees at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Cyprus has put on display artifacts, some of them thousands of years old, that were returned after a Turkish art dealer looted them from the ethnically divided island nation decades ago. The art dealer took the artifacts from the country's breakaway north. News and analysis at townhall.com. A variety of small businesses are scrambling to fix the damage from Friday's internet outage.
Consumer insights company, a restaurant company, a psychiatrist that runs a virtual practice. They all have different issues. Some couldn't pay their employees on Friday. Others could not get access to their balances online. One woman couldn't use DocuSign because DocuSign runs on Microsoft software. A lot of businesses told me they're getting things resolved, but others are trying to look at their losses.
Correspondent Ann Dinascencio reporting. China's central bank has cut key interest rates in a surprise move aimed at injecting pep into the economy, while the ruling Communist Party released a 50-page document addressing long-term challenges. The party's planning document promises to beef up social welfare, such as pensions. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloids said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The Deuce. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yes.
It is cooler Monday.
It is nice.
than other Mondays we've had.
I would go downright brisk this morning.
Yeah. But, well, it won't be brisk later,
No.
but compared to, say, other days.
Yeah,
sure. But,
soak up some early morning briskness.
Yeah, we got the moisture chances. Hopefully it doesn't mess up baseball tonight. But,
yeah.
Hopefully it all, there's a
fingers crossed on that one.
Of the seas of there. But it's a cooler day today. And, but as far as the rain stuff, it's pretty much done today for the next couple of days. But it is New Mexico. Thursday, psych.
Wait about 5 minutes, things will change.
I had a question for you. For folks that are just tuning in and anything else, of course, last time we talked a little about Sean's trip to Colorado for the AJR concert and Meow Wolf and his Gallivant Colorado.
Indeed.
So I was looking, I saw a couple of your pics from the trip.
Yep.
And I have a question.
Okay.
I noticed in multiple of the pics, you're wearing what one could describe as a Arctic-like hat.
Yes.
Now, Colorado in July does not require an Arctic-like hat.
No.
Is there a story or reason for said hat?
Sure is.
Just curious.
Okay. So the concert, the headliner of the concert was AJR.
Mm-hmm.
3 brothers, Adam, Jack, and Ryan. Okay. Jack, who's the lead singer, his whole thing, it's almost like his trademark.
Yes.
He wears one of those hats. He wears a toque hat, so to speak. And I've wondered for years why he does, because he's like, if you've ever watched an AJR video, he's like flailing about dancing. He dances like a crazy person. One's got to imagine that hat is very hot.
It's built for keeping you warm.
To keep you warm, exactly. So about a year ago for Christmas, my best friend got me what we call a Jack hat.
Gotcha.
Because his name is Jack, so we call it the Jack hat.
Gotcha.
So this was my first opportunity to wear the Jack hat to the concert.
Amongst the people.
Amongst my people, exactly.
Gotcha.
So that's why the hat was there. Now, I will tell you this. I was sweating profusely.
But so you did look comfortable.
By the time I got to my seat, I wasn't wearing the hat.
Yeah.
By the time I got to my seat, here I am with my, like I said, my Jack hat, my bottle of water, my tots, and I'm sitting in the seat like I feel like I'm a wall sconce. So I'm like, I wasn't comfortable at all. So the hat was like between my legs, and I even leaned over to him and was like, why did you let me bring this? I'm not going to wear it. But then by the time the show came up, I put the hat on, and I discovered the magic of the hat. If you're flailing about, dancing like a crazy person, you're going to sweat. You're going to be dripping. Some of that sweat could go into your eyes, could get your face, could alter your performance. That hat is like terry cloth. It absorbed all the moisture on my head. Yes, I was hot.
Yeah.
Yes, as soon as I took it off, the wind that hit my head was very like relieving. But while it was on, no sweat dripping down. It was nice. So that's why he does it. Because he can flail about like a crazy person on the stage and not get sweat in his eyes.
All right.
It's a simple solution. I put it together at the concert. So yes, that is why I was wearing the Jack hat.
So, next time you go check out the Alien Chase and you see a guy wearing an Arctic hat, it's just Sean.
It's just,
keeping the sweat out of his eyes.
It was funny too, because I thought, well, I'm going to wear this so, it'll stand out. I'll be, unique. I get there, probably 300 people in those hats.
Mm-hmm.
Just amongst just even my section.
Put your name on it.
Son of a. But I probably should have just left it in the car but then again, it did result in some pretty cool pictures.
Well, in all fairness, I got to imagine that's like going to a Green Bay Packers game going, I bet I'm the only guy wearing this cheese head.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly unique, but it was useful. It did definitely served its purpose.
Good. Well, good deal. Well, I was just curious because I was like, and Sean doesn't wear that like out and about during his day.
Not my
There's
normal
got to
hat.
be a reason for that.
There it is. Yeah, if you ever looked up anything about AJR, you'll notice that the lead singer, the taller guy with the goatee, he's always wearing that hat.
Gotcha. Good thing you didn't go to a Buckethead concert.
Right? I even made the joke. I'm like, I bet he regrets choosing that as his trademark years ago.
Should have went with sunglasses.
Because he's performing at some point he's performing in like, Tallahassee, Florida.
Right.
Just
But then again, there's got to be
humidity.
those shows where it's like in Europe or somewhere it's very cold, and he's like, "You guys were making fun of me, but now," but they're just like, "Yeah, we just put one on now when we need to. We don't have to, even though."
We were getting out of the truck at the end of the evening back to our Airbnb, and my hat was on the floor. Allie, who I was sitting next to in the backseat of the truck, she goes, "Sean, did you want your hat?" And she picks it up and hands it to me like this. Now, it was dry by this point.
Right.
But she's like, I saw how much you were sweating earlier.
You know what it once was.
Exactly. Did you want to wring that thing out? Or yeah, it was.
Run that in the wash.
It was definitely not a hat for the occasion, but it was a standout.
Well, good.
It was cool.
Well, good. Well, good. Too bad you can't get them signed or something.
And that's like, there were two things. At one point, like at the end of the concert, he took his hat off and threw it out. I'm like, I would have loved to have been the guy who caught that.
I'll say nosebleeds
but
don't get
also, I guarantee the second that hit somebody, it probably made a sound.
Yeah.
Because it was just drenched.
Yeah.
But yeah,
people don't care about that stuff.
Eventually, I'll get one signed.
Yeah, because I'd be that guy. He throws it at me, and I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
Don't throw that rat at me.
Throws it back.
Yep, that'd be that guy.
There were two guys in banana costumes at the very front. They called them out because they were like, we noticed the guys in the banana suit. So there's this song they do called Sober Up. Okay. And it has this like build up to what would normally be like a beat drop. It's like, how's it go again? But then it's just violins. So the guy who was at the concert, clearly an AJR fan, had heard this song for years, knew there wasn't a drop there. It gets to that point, he goes, how's it go again? He goes like this. And then he gets all mad because there wasn't a drop. And he looks up at Jack, he's like, well, were you going to change the song for this one guy in the banana costume?
Apparently was.
Yeah. They do that in the middle of the show. There's always like a little talkie break where they like interact with the audience a little bit. At one point, they actually came up into the nosebleed section with us, like up into the crowd.
Nice.
That was really cool. Granted, we were like a good 30 rows away, but I wanted to jump over people to try to get.
But he was in your vicinity.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, sorry. You didn't get to grope them like my wife got to grope the new kids.
Didn't get to touch the hem of their garment, but we move on.
Oh, man. Well, good. I'm glad it was a good time.
Yeah.
So now you kind of can't get rid of the hat.
Oh, no.
Even if you wanted to.
It's definitely got, it'll come with me. Any AJR thing I go to, it's going to be with me.
Go to the wall of memories or whatever. So, good deal. Let me give you the rundown, what we got on tap for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few few minutes, rather.
Seconds?
Of a lamb's tail. Then, shortly thereafter, we're going to have Amy McVeigh-Tejas join us with the Historical Society for Southeast Mexico tonight. Roswell Invaders game. It's a historical society, and we're going to night out at the ballpark. And, of course, part of that is honoring and celebrating the Lions Hondo 56 Little League World Series team. We're going to have 3 members of that team join us on the radio tonight. They're going to have 4 out at the ball game. Farrell Dunham, Tommy Jordan, and David Sherrod will be joining us on radio here in just a few, along with Amy, talking about tonight's ball game, just talking a little baseball here. Then later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But first, let's get you up to date on that weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Elevated chances for showers with thunderstorms back in the forecast area wide for today. Some of these producing some extremely heavy rain. So please be careful as you're heading out and about. High temperatures are ranging right around 80 to 83 degrees for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Start to dry out through the latter half of tonight. Our low right around 65. Chances for wet weather lower on Tuesday. The high mid to upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 69 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 78%. Winds are out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Today we are looking at a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, and a high 81 today with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. They say we could get anywhere from a quarter to a half an inch of rain today. Tonight, a 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 64 degrees. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. New rainfall amounts tonight expected less than a tenth of an inch unless we do get a thunderstorm through the area. sunny and a high of 88 for your Tuesday. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour tomorrow. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 65 degrees. Southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Wednesday, expect a high of 93. Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 96. Friday, sunny and 95. And then for the weekend, mostly sunny and 95 Saturday. A slight chance of rain Saturday night. And then sunny and 97 on Sunday. So cooler these next couple days, but warming up by midweek here. And looks like just getting downright hot again for the weekend here. But we'll see. All right, it is 17 minutes after 8. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk some baseball tonight as Amy from the Historical Society, some of our Lions Hondo Little League World Series players are going to join us and talk Invaders baseball, too. All that on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
The Portales Summer Jam is coming to the ENMU campus courts Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. This 3-on-3 youth basketball and pickleball tournament is open to all ages and skill levels. Registration is only $25 per person with military and student discounts available. Plus, trophies, prizes, music, food, and more. Space is limited, so head for portales.com or call 575-356-8541 for more info and to sign up today. The Portales Summer Jam, Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. on the ENMU courts. Presented by the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. This ad paid in part by Portales, New Mexico Lodgers Tax.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Eastern New Mexico University is proud to announce our newest offering, a Master of Social Work degree. This 100% online, affordable master's degree has 3 concentrations: clinical, clinical military, and children, youth, and families. This online master's degree is perfect for the working professional, as you can earn your degree on your own time with our flexible online courses. For more information, visit www.enmu.edu/MSW. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Upgrade from your old vehicle into a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle for less during the summer sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. From now till the end of the month, Roswell Ford needs to sell 58 new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, Amy McVeigh-Tejas from the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico back with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
And, of course, we got a few of the members of the Lions Hondo 1956 Little League World Series baseball team. Farrell Dunham, Tommy Jordan, and David Schrodt with us this morning. Morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good morning.
Good, dude. Now, are you guys all from out of town, or do any of y'all live kind of in the area?
I live in Roswell.
You're in Roswell, but
Right.
you don't live.
I live in Palestine, Texas, which is part of East Texas.
Okay, because you mentioned bed and breakfast, and I was like, either just likes bed and breakfast,
Yeah.
or he probably not live.
No. I live in Amarillo, Texas.
Amarillo, so not too far. Yeah, enough to get in a pickup truck and head this way if you need to. Yeah. So good deal. Well, thank you guys for joining us on the radio this morning. Of course, for tonight, it is kind of a Little League Baseball Historical Society night out at the Invaders game tonight, as, of course, they take on Alpine here and out at Joe Bauman Stadium. We want to get everybody out there. You guys will be part of the ceremonial first pitch tonight,
Mm-hmm.
and so get out there and meet some ball players. Of course, Dewey Johnson, who we had on the show last week, talking about his Sunday Fun Day and his book, which we had a great afternoon of that yesterday. He'll be part of that with you guys out there today. So I'm just curious, have you guys seen any Invaders baseball over the couple of years here? When I know you guys are in and out of town from time to time here. I don't know if you've been out to a few ball games. So this will be your first game.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been out to a few,
I've
right?
been out there,
Yeah,
yeah.
you've been out there too. What about for you?
There was still the Roswell Rockets.
Ah, okay. Good deal.
I left in '58.
Mike, they do have their Invaders hats to wear tonight.
So they're ready. You checked out in that safety yellow, green, whatever it is, and the blue. I love the whole Invader. I love aliens and all that, but that color, I am not a fan of. I've never been a fan of that color. When I have to wear them, I'm like, oh man, I gotta wear the traffic cone again. But now, do you guys? I'm just curious. Do you guys? I mean, obviously, probably. Do you guys still involved in baseball in any way, shape, or form? Coaching grandkids or anything like that? Do you guys still do
I
any
have
of that?
grandkids that play ball.
Gotcha. I didn't know if you probably just backyard with them, or do you get out on?
No.
My oldest grandson is.
Oh yeah, they're probably adults themselves now, huh?
I think he's 20.
So great
29.
Mine are like junior in high school.
Okay. Yeah. Although, do it anyway. They'll appreciate it down the road. So I'm curious, how often you guys get together? Because obviously you guys, 56, we talk about, the amazing achievement that is that Lions Hondo team. But do you guys get together every few years, or how often do you guys get to kind of?
Tommy and I see each other, 2-3 times a year?
Yeah.
Something like that. David hadn't seen forever.
Okay. So it's kind of summer. Some you get to see in the regular. Some you're like, oh man, it's great. I haven't seen them in 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Or something.
So have y'all been together since our celebration when we honored you? Have all of y'all together? You haven't been together since then?
No.
Since the Heritage Dinner.
Yes.
What was that? How many years ago was that?
Well, that was 2006.
I'll say I always say like 4 years ago, and
we were together.
So it was longer than that.
They did a parade.
Right.
What year was that,
Yes,
David?
because
You came up.
That was
the
State Fair.
Yes,
opening. Yeah, State Fair.
Yeah, that was the state. Well, and those
18?
kids just graduated. Yes, they just graduated from high school.
Yeah,
yes.
that's the first time I'd seen David.
When our team went so far. Yes. A couple years now.
I'm curious, do you guys like because obviously you guys have known each other a long time, been friends a long time. Like, do you still see and talk to each other very much like you did back when you were playing in '56? I mean, is it reminiscence of some of the jokes and some of the just stories and camaraderie from that era still carry to this day?
Well, I'm still hearing stories I never heard.
I'm sure there's some added ones, but it's like if one player was known for something, and you still give him a hard time about it today.
Yeah.
Well, I used to watch Tommy. Tommy and Farrell took turns pitching every other game.
Okay.
And if they weren't pitching, they were both hitting home runs. Yeah. It was fantastic. We had 15 games straight that we won, single elimination.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Tommy, what'd you hit, 18, and Farrell hit 16 or 17?
Not that many.
I think
it's a fish story. We can get bigger over time. It's okay. No, it was 357.
Right around.
Yeah, they hit about it. I think I hit 8 home runs in 12 games, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Were you competitive with each other? Like, did you drive each other? Like, you try to outdo each other? Was that kind of part of it, or no? It just
not for me. I don't remember that at all.
I didn't know if you looked like, oh, I could beat that. I didn't know if you kind of drove each other, pushed, iron sharpens iron kind of mentality a little bit.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably want to pitch good. So
a little bit, but I don't think we ever talk to each other about, like
Sure.
I'm going to beat you or anything like
but
that.
inside you're like, I'm going to get
No,
this.
that was my teammates.
Sure. Well, I mean, on the field, absolutely. But I gotta imagine in practice stuff is like, I'm going to crank out more than this guy.
No, I never was a cranker.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, what was? How much did that at that time in your life? How much of baseball? I mean, because you were kids and you had school and everything. I mean, how much of your life did you get to vote during that time, or was it really we had to really work in the time to get to the other dues because, you know, we had to be at the farm, we had to go to school, you know, whatever. Life was in the way there, you know. I mean, or did baseball really get a chance to consume much of your life during that period?
Yeah, it did for me. My dad, he was a baseball player, so
it was kind of just in the fabric from day one for you.
Yeah, I grew up with it. My dad, he played professional baseball.
Gotcha. So that was always the family trade, so to speak.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But I mean, man, most of the players on the team weren't like that. They probably were farmers and ranchers, and you know.
My dad worked, and I went to school, and after school, I went to practice.
Yeah. So I mean, so how did you juggle that at the time?
That was we were 10, 11, 12. I don't know.
You're just young, and your parents point you. All right, go here. You go here. And do this. I get
there you go.
Well, when I lived in Midland, Texas, and I was in the second grade, and I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I walked up to the school. Here's a baseball game going. Man, they had uniforms. And I walked over there, and I said, I want to play. How do I get to play?
Sure.
And the manager of some team, it had a green uniform, matter of fact, kind of green. He said, can you play ball? And I said, yes. He said, what do you play? And I pointed towards third base, and I said, I play right there. And second inning I was in, he says, we'll put you in. Some kid tried to come down and steal the base, and the catcher threw him out. And my dad had showed me how to cover the base. And he slid right into the glove, so he was gone. Yeah. And I came home with the uniform. Where'd you get this?
You just earned second base. Yeah. You just earned the job.
I kind of got into it. We just had a vacant lot by my house.
Okay.
And summertime, we would listen to the game of the day, and then be out there in that vacant lot playing ball.
So
nothing organized. Just neighborhood kids.
Yeah, you just go. But I imagine too. And of course you're listening to the game and probably emulating some of the plays you're listening to, and you know.
Well, that's what the baseball cards were for.
Yeah, that's what kids do.
You put the guy down and do the wiffle ball, and you had to bat like him. And
I'm always curious. I grew up in Maryland, D.C. area. I didn't grow up in this area, so I always grew up with a sports franchise, kind of, you know, root for the Redskins, root for the Nats weren't there at the time, so it was Orioles and things like that. But growing up here, did everybody have different favorite players, teams, or was it pretty universal? No, we all like Texas Rangers or whatever.
I grew up, I don't even know why, but I was a big Milwaukee Braves fan.
Okay.
I grew up as a Yankee fan.
As a Yankee fan?
Yeah, I grew up as a Yankee fan.
Oh, okay. And that's why I always wondered, and you know, because I imagine that, you know, that's where rivalry starts. Like, oh, man, you know, this, that, you know, but because I grew up in a place where we all had the one team.
Yeah,
most of us. There was always the one that was mad at their parents or something that root for another team, but we all kind of root for the home team, kind of.
Well, you know, as kids, the Little League was the first time I ever got involved in organized. But as we played workup, all the time, and I know these guys know what workup is.
That's what we did in the vacant lot.
Yep, we didn't. If we had a field, we used the field.
Gotcha.
Which was at usually some grade school, and that was just the way that you did. You could play with 4 or you could play with 12.
Gotcha. So I'm curious, when you guys were actually there making the run for the World Series, that run there, did you guys really get a chance to kind of just drink it all in a little bit? Because, I mean, obviously when you're making the run for the World Series, it's probably pretty fast paced. They've got you from here to here to here and playing game after game. But did you really get a chance to enjoy the experience and take it all in and say, look what we're sitting at right now. Look what's going on here. You know, did you guys ever get that, or was it just too much of a whirlwind for you guys?
David took it all in.
Yeah?
I know. I just remember playing baseball.
Sure. You were just
Pretty
there. I'm
much,
just
yeah.
here to, hitting and catching and throwing and
I
doing
don't
my
know
thing.
about Tommy. I think he just played baseball too.
I think it was just that we were so busy in practice, and we were busy in Williamsport on tours that's the only thing we had time for.
Sure. And that's what I figured. I figured they had you going in 50 different directions, but I was like, did you ever get a moment to kind of smell the roses a little bit and just say, we're sitting here and what is the biggest pinnacle of our sport right now and where we're at?
But we didn't know that at
We
the
didn't.
time.
Sure, and that's what I was saying. Do you get a
didn't.
chance to kind of, did that absorb in at some
Yeah.
point or it's later like, dang, that was a bigger deal than I realized.
It was much later.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
Okay. How about for you, Tommy? Was it pretty instant for you, or was it down the road where you kind of the gravity of the situation hit you?
No, I think it might have been different for me growing up with a dad that was a major league player. So
Act like you've been there and you've kind of been there, boy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
From your perspective, that makes complete sense. Where you're like, no, this is how it's supposed to be.
yeah, really, that's I actually thought that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then again, that's probably what took like your dad to play professional ball. People, when you get to that level of the sport, you got to have that mindset.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you ain't getting to that level of the sport. Because every single person that's got a uniform on at the big leagues had to have that same mindset to get there. Because there's always good ball players. There's always the best one in the neighborhood. But when they're all the best one in the neighborhood,
Exactly.
then you
Well,
know.
when we were coming back, we went to Comiskey Park. Got to see the White Sox play.
Yep.
Tommy, he's the only one. They did a game of the week, and they showed him. He was out there in the bullpen with the pitchers.
Well, my
And
dad,
he was throwing.
He was throwing.
And that's because he knew
Sure.
people.
yeah, my dad told me to go say hello to some players out there in the bullpen. So yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean,
Yeah,
not many people get to do what you did doing that
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
pretty
stuff.
cool, yeah.
It is. That is so cool. So, so I imagine for you, that's the kind of stuff. Those are the memories you take back and you look back, and this is the joyous part of your time at baseball.
Right.
Things like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. Now, do you guys even like try to have a get together and maybe throw the ball around a little bit, have a catch or anything like that? I don't know if anybody's still.
I probably can't throw across this room now.
I don't know if you ever once in a while get out there and just have a catch or something a little bit, But
Tommy's going to be the one if he throw a ball out. He's going to be the one
I'm
throwing
going to say, who drew the short straw for tonight? Tommy, you're up.
Yeah, I might could get it there. I don't know.
Oh, he can. No problem.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
But we'd love to have everyone come on out to the Invaders game tonight here. It's all, if you've never been to Invaders game, make tonight a first one. It's really bring the whole family out. They love when the kids come out because they get to come out and interact with the ball players and hang out with them. And of course, they'll get to come out and meet you guys tonight here and talk a little baseball and everything. Dewey will be there with his book. If you want to get a copy of his book, he'll be signing there. And imagine you guys will be more than willing to sign that too and talk that if people so request that kind of stuff. But did you guys ever meet Joe Bauman in your I didn't know if you guys got to meet him and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I met him one time. Tommy knew him.
Oh, I know him real well.
You were pretty intimate with his family and everything.
Yeah.
Was that Joe Bauman, the picture that was taken? Farrell, I think you were in the photograph. Some guy was some rocket was signing a baseball.
Wasn't me.
I thought it was you and Dick Story.
No.
Okay. There was I have a picture in a scrapbook.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was Joe Bauman or not.
Okay. So you might have met him.
Well, they had something out there at the Fair Park Stadium, and Tommy pitched to him. Of course, Joe Bauman missed it on purpose, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
he had nothing to prove.
So if we hadn't, we all met him then.
Gotcha. But imagine that's probably cool. Well, like you said, you got a chance to see him all over the time. But imagine that's pretty cool to see someone of that, especially I imagine at some point, baseball, men like him are the reason why baseball had a following here and things like that. So it's pretty cool. So we'd love to get you to come out tonight. Come out to Joe Bauman Stadium. I believe 6 p.m. 6:30. 6:30. I'm sorry, his opening pitch there. And come on out, get out there early. Knocking on wood, the weather will cooperate with us today here, and come on out and have some fun. I know they're. I don't know the standings and everything, but they're getting ready for playoffs and everything.
Mm-hmm,
they're about ready to wrap up the season.
They've been posting, so I think they're.
So this is important baseball, and
Right.
on top of all the fun and everything,
is.
it's important in the standings, and they got to get these wins and everything else. So
Right.
it's an important game here tonight too. On top of all that,
On behalf of the Historical Society, we just want to thank Dewey. You know, Dewey contacted the Historical Society, was writing his many projects are all, well, for the love of the game. And so first thing I want to say is, you know, this is anybody who is listening. These are three ordinary men that did extraordinary things, and they're still here to live the story. So one thing I want to do is just continue to challenge Roswell. You know, we've got the next World Series men out there, and we want to continue. I want this sit down to be our next generation. But also, thank you to Dewey for bringing this together. So Dewey's book signing in fruition came into another project that I don't think this will be the last time these men are sitting around talking about baseball.
he's gonna put you to work.
Well, I think these poor men are going to be working this afternoon. So it's all for the love of the game. You know, I've loved this game my whole life. I mean, I was at the ball field at 2 months old.
Well, I see
so I'm
it.
just honored
They shouldn't have to
be
pay
here.
for a meal around here again. Just
That's
work for lunches and dinners and breakfast and coffee. I'll tell you all you want over dinner. I'll tell you all you want over lunch, over coffee.
That's a good idea.
I'm saying,
I like that idea.
Now they're talking. Now we're talking.
Good deal. But that's Dewey's next project. He
Yes,
is working
yes.
on these guys here too. So is it? I imagine that, like, what is your family like? What kind of reactions do they give? I mean, do they still, you know, the grandkids or anything? Kind of, hey, you know, tell me about the time when you were, you know. I mean, do you still get to share those stories?
They're too busy with their cell phones.
Sure, yeah, it's a different world nowadays. It's a different world now.
No, I'm just grandpa.
Gotcha.
Yes, just grandpa.
Gotcha. But I imagine, especially as you get as everybody gets a little older, they that moment realizes, like, you're getting a little welled up thinking about it now, but that moment hits, even when they're little kids. But at some point, they're like, "Oh, dang, Grandpa was kind of a big deal." You know what I mean? That's so cool.
Well, even when we talk about it to our fourth graders, so all of our fourth graders get a tour, and we remind individuals that they won the 1956. And they're able to do that math and to even to realize we have some still in Roswell. You know, that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
And it might come full circle later. But one thing we are hard-pressed to do is remind them of our legacies around here and celebrate them. So, so as long as we log everything to where when those grandkids do come full circle and make that visit, we've got that story logged. And we are, Mike, one of the things we're going to be doing this afternoon is working on, and huge shout-out to Peter for what he's going to do. We're going to have some interviews, and that will be an ongoing legacy for when these kids, when your grandkids do finally come full circle, we'll have it logged to celebrate.
Sure.
I'm proud to celebrate.
I'm just, we're talking, but I'm also curious because you had mentioned earlier talking about, you know, they had uniforms. I wanted to check that out. And this is something we need people to know. It's like this team was put together with nothing. This was, you know, they didn't have a big funding thing where they had the latest and greatest and best equipment known to the sport at the time and everything. You know, they literally are scraping together to get equipment. So I'm very curious. You know, you look at, you know, with the equipment and things you work with and the things you play at the time, and you look at the modern era of baseball and the equipment. I'm just curious. If you had a modern equipment today, what would have been the biggest asset? Like, what would have been, like, of all the gloves, the bats, whatever? Like, if you would have said, if I could take that back with me to 56, what would have been the greatest at you personally? Like, would it be the gloves today? Would it have been the bats? Would it have been something else, the balls? I don't know. What's been like as far as the equipment, like as far as just since that time playing till now, that's kind of, you know, evolved to the better, I guess.
I think they got better gloves today than we
Yeah.
have.
Because I imagine it's got to be an advantage. I mean,
And the aluminum bats now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's got to be a big difference. I mean, they don't allow those in Major League, but in Little League.
Tell you what, we wore wool uniforms.
I'm about to say the uniform is no joke either.
I
You're
tell you
right.
what.
You sit in Pennsylvania in July where it's humid as all get out in a wool uniform. Playing baseball, you know, and see if you don't want to pass out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Valid point.
I would say the equipment as Tommy said, the gloves are much better.
Sure,
they don't get limp.
I'm just wondering, do you
use.
think how many home runs I could have had with aluminum bat, or how many over the wall catches I could have made with a glove today versus that leather puff of thing I had back in the day. It kept my hand from hurting, but it wasn't hard to grasp the ball with.
Well, I used a glove that my dad used playing fast pitch softball in Midland, Texas. I didn't get my own glove until 11.
And that's people don't realize that it was probably one of the biggest deals as a kid to get your own ball glove for the first time.
Well, even on the bats, I don't remember how many times we would break them and then nail them back together.
No, it's not broke yet.
We'd nail them and tape them.
Yeah.
Well, and just knowing how many balls teams have nowadays to have extra balls.
Sure.
I mean, to just have a large amount of
I got a History Channel. You know how they do a lot of these shows about the men that built America, this and that. They have a bunch of those kind of. Well, they have one that was on like kind of like sports and companies that built America and their products, and one was talking about sporting equipment and stuff, and they kind of got into Spalding and how he created the baseball, the modern baseball, and it's a fascinating story on how that, because generally back before his time, the pitchers made their own balls. They were the ones that made the balls, and then they all had their own techniques, and so there was no consistency to the balls. And then Spalding came in and put signs like, okay, if you cut the leather this way, you put X amount of stitches this way, and you fill it with the core this amount and this, and got a standardized version of the baseball. But that to me that's fascinating stuff. But you guys, but looking at that, and to be honest, they're talking about this in the late 1800s and early 1900s. By the 50s. Yeah, that kind of stuff was more modernized, but even still,
not like today.
Not today's standards.
Right.
This is all computer designed and engineered, like probably better than a car was back in the 50s. You know what I mean?
Well, the baseballs, Farrell, Tommy, we used to get them, and the seams would split. Then we taped it.
Yeah,
and we used friction tape or whatever tape we had until we started knocking the tape off.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Did you get to when you get to the Little League World Series and you're playing some of those games? You're like, look, they're like new baseballs every game. I mean, was it kind of like that kind of stuff? It was like, holy cow! Did they even use this baseball before? Yeah. Was it that kind of stuff going on?
It was called Little League baseballs.
Yeah. But they're like, these are still white. Was like pine tar and all that stuff allowed back then for the bats and stuff? Or no, it was just here's your bat and go, or they even get into that kind of stuff? Or
we didn't use batting gloves. No, no such thing.
Nothing. No tips or no standard stuff that people were doing to get an advantage on a grip or something like that.
No, I don't think
you just spit on your hands.
Spit on your hands. Now they rub some dirt on it.
Yep.
And there you go.
There you go.
So I don't know if we're getting into the era where like, all right, now they're.
I don't know when that started.
Yeah. Now it's like now they get so much that like their batting helmets are like covered in it. They're just like, man, you just been rolling around in pine tar all day. What are you doing? Like guys like John Kruk back in the day. I was like, man, what have you been doing? How'd you get that dirty? Oh man. But so like when you come out to like say tonight when you go out to the games, what's kind of is it just watching the game, or do you guys like are you guys mini coaches and start looking at players and you're like, man, he's got to get more follow through on that? Or, I mean, like when you guys watch baseball, how do you watch it today?
I watch it on TV. I watch quite a bit.
So you just, but I mean, do you try to analyze it, or do you get to just kick back and enjoy it, or do you study it?
Well, yeah, I pretty much know. Man, I study what's going on.
But you a little anticipate, like, oh, they're going to try to do this next.
Yeah.
You can see how the table's being set.
In fact, I listen to John Kruk a lot. You just mentioned.
All right, so he's an entertaining dude.
He's funny. Yeah. He's on Philadelphia. He broadcasts the Philadelphia games.
Well, and I remember back in his playing days, he was always good for, whenever a reporter got in front of him, he always had something good to say or something entertaining.
Yeah, he is
pretty entertaining.
Right. Some of the most, I think one of the ones was, he was talking about him smoking and stuff in the thing, and he said, how can an athlete like you do that? He's like, man, I'm not an athlete, I'm a ball player.
That's right.
Baseball players really weren't, I won't say thought of as athletes.
Sure.
It was that was something that football players and basketball
Sure,
players.
they're bulky and beefed up, and generally speaking, like some of the best pitchers kind of look like kind of little. They got a gut. They're kind of, you know what I mean. They're a little loose. Or you know, like some of the best baseball pitchers don't look like finely tuned athletes. I'm just saying, you know, over the years you look at them, you know, because they got to be a little more loose. You know, it's kind of like there's a video online with all the social media world, and it makes me laugh so hard. Where they got these guys that are they're like real jacked up, you know, they just live in the gym, and they're just cut, and they look like chiseled Adonises, and the one guy messes with the one, he's like, "Oh, you're tough," and he grabs a sticky note and throws it right in the middle of his back. He said, "Take that off your back." He's like trying to
can't do it.
He can't do it because it's so fun. It's the funniest 2 minutes I've ever seen. Watch this guy try to get a sticky note off the middle of his back. But see, that's kind of the point. If the pitcher's all jacked up like that, he's not loose enough to throw that junk with the heat down there. So baseball players, it was a thing. Yeah, ball player, athlete, not always the same. I mean, yeah, in modern day, it's all with science. And they got you. They got what you put in your body is measured and counted, and every little ounce of it, and what exercises, and everything's hooked up with computers nowadays, and all that stuff. But yeah,
but that's that way with all sports.
Sure, that's just life in general. It is. So, what was kind of? I'm kind of over these, but what was kind of the most? Like if you remember, like what was the thing that kind of, as you were going through it, just like, whoa, was it just, the environment of it? Was it stuff like seeing new balls? What is it? Like, what was the stuff that were kind of, I would say, blew you away during that experience? Things that were just, I'm going to say overwhelming, but just were like, wow, this is impressive. Was there any of those moments?
I thought the crowds up there in Williamsport.
The stadiums, the crowds, the people in the ballparks.
A lot of people, you know.
Playing in front of a crowd. More than the one little section of bleachers here at the ballpark.
And it was a nice ball field. I mean, it was
beautiful.
Sure.
Manicured.
Grass was all like the same height. There wasn't.
There was grass.
Yeah, there was grass.
Any grass.
Yeah. There wasn't maybe a gopher hole out by center field or something like that. Yeah.
No, our ball field was dirt.
Yeah.
And as an infielder, you would try to kick some of the bigger rocks out of the way so you can get a bad hop and catch it in the throat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those were that's to be an infielder in a field like that, or an outfielder for that matter, is a extra level of skill to that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like throwing pinball into your game into your baseball game here.
I think like Tommy said, when you went out there, Williamsport, the crowds were just, I don't know how many there was, 10,000 watching.
Mm-hmm. So would it fuel you? Would it make you nervous? What was kind of like? Is it like, oh man, is it like because some people it's like, oh no, it's a lot of him. I don't mess this up, and then some people like thrive in that. It's like for you guys, what was kind of?
I didn't get nervous. I mean, I was amazed.
Sure,
but when you start playing ball, you just play ball.
You forget the crowd. You tune it out. You're just playing the game. But that first at bat or something, you're maybe like, ooh, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was that for you guys too? I mean, like you said, you were built for this. So this is probably, this is what I expected it to be. Like.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected.
Gotcha. But what about for you, David? Was it kind of that? Wow, was it one of those? I'm a little fish in a bigger pond today.
No, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
I was just there to play ball.
Sure.
And all of us. We sort of got together and said, all we got to do is just do our best. And it worked out.
I just thought about it. I think part of that, too, is just the fact that you're 10, 11, 12-year-old, little kids. Sometimes we adults overthink everything, and sometimes as kids, you just shut up and do it.
That's exactly
and I think maybe just young enough and enough to just, I'm just too young to worry about distractions because I don't really know what the consequences are yet. So I'm just going to play ball here, Yeah. And so there was probably a little bit of a blessing there, a little bit of a, hey, we didn't know we were supposed to be nervous.
That's true.
Yeah. That makes sense here too.
That is true.
Absolutely. So what are you guys up to now? Is it just family, retirement? What's kind of the things that you're enjoying in your life at the moment?
I think
golfing.
A lot of golfing.
Okay. Well, not a lot. I mean,
but
At my age, you don't play a lot.
Do you get once or twice a week? Or?
Yeah, about 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay, that's still a lot of golf.
Yeah.
That is.
Some wives are going, that's too much golf for I'm
That's good, though.
And going to see the grandkids.
Okay, good to see the family. What about for you, Tommy? What are you doing?
Go and watch the grandkids and see my grandkid and watch a lot of baseball.
So family and baseball still.
There you
Yeah,
go.
family
Good
and
deal.
baseball.
Who do you follow now as far as major league teams? What's your?
I follow maybe the Yankees quite a bit.
Okay,
And,
still loving the Yankees.
And and teams, Texas and Houston.
Okay. My brother went to college at the SUNY Maritime Academy in the Bronx, New York. Kind of like the state of New York's version of the Merchant Marine Academy, but it's there in the Bronx. But if he showed his student ID, because his school was there in the Bronx, he'd get into any Yankee game. They put him in the bleachers. He just show his school ID. He went to multiple Yankee games sitting in the bleachers when he was in college out there. Good to go for free.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
really
cool. So he was one of his lucky things. Like, I got to see a bunch of Yankee games going on out there. So, what about for you, David? What's kind of life? What's motoring the life nowadays for you?
It's slowed down a lot. I'm retired law enforcement.
Gotcha.
And
so you're used to having balls, all kinds of stuff being thrown at you over your career between law enforcement.
I spent 34 years in that business. But it's family now. Things have, as Farrell said, it's slowed down a little bit. It's not the frantic pace of I have to do this, I have to do that.
Sure.
Living in Florida for 34 years also, I didn't play that much ball then. I got on the water and fished.
I'm about to say there's so many other distractions in that part of the world that but you're like, I'd just be stuck eating key lime pie, I think, the whole time. That'd be my problem. I'd weigh 400 pounds and made a pie.
That's right.
Well, that's cool, though.
Yeah.
Good deal. So how long are you guys in town for? You just do the game tonight? Are you heading back, or are you guys?
I'm heading back Wednesday.
Okay. Good deal.
I'll probably go back tomorrow.
All right. Y'all get your green chili fixes while you're here?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, that's got to be rectified. We got to get
There
that.
you go. We better get that taken care of.
Hatch chili.
That's right. You can't leave without it. I mean,
Yeah.
you come back home and said you're not getting
That's
green
right.
chili while you're
You better
in the house.
get it.
That'd be a
better
bad
get it.
thing. So,
Yeah.
but everyone would love to invite you to come on out. You can get tickets at the ballpark there. You can go to the Invaders website and get tickets too if you'd like. And I'd highly, especially if this is your first time you come out to see a Roswell Invaders game, come on out. They're fun to watch. They're a really good ball club too, by the way. I mean, we're talking all the fun and everything. They're pretty good in that Pecos
Getting down
league
to
too.
business.
They're usually making a run for the championship right there every year. So they're a pretty good ball club. On top of I know they've had some new managers this year, and it's a little bit of changeover in some of the players and rosters and things there. But it's a lot of fun to come on out to the ballpark. So come on out to Joe Bauman tonight. Like I said, 6:30's opening pitch. I believe they open ballpark up about 6. Open the gates and everything. Get out there early, these gentlemen. Also, Jimmy Valdez will also be out there with you guys tonight too. So he couldn't make it on the radio with us this morning. So it'll be him, and then Dewey as well will be out there. So
And we'll have Dewey's books out there. It is Historical Society night at the ball field.
Yes.
We're collecting loose change. We'll take donations and make sure and get your autographed copy of Dewey's book. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call the museum today at 622-8333. You can call my cell, 575-915-4471, or email me at historydirector@outlook.com for more information.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I'm glad. Thank you for getting into town and getting to kind of spend some time with us this weekend and coming and telling stories and playing baseball or watching baseball and just being part of the thing and kind of reminding folks of one of the other great things that Roswell's known about.
That's right.
Too.
Yeah.
In the words of my son, Mom, you're sitting around greatness. So
There you go.
we're just honored to celebrate this legacy.
Of course, those ball fields look a lot different now than they did when you guys were out there. I used to live right behind there.
Every ball field looks different than one.
I know. But I used to own a house there's a street right next to the Lions Hondo ball fields there. And matter of fact, my dog would get a few baseballs each year because one would crank over into the thing.
Out on Sunset?
Yeah, exactly. And the other great part is I didn't have to cook dinner very often. I'd be like, I think think there's nachos there. We'd walk over to get Frito pie. We'd walk over there and get nachos.
That's
watch a few minutes of baseball, walk back over to the house. Right. They get mad when I showed them my bathrobe, but
I'm sure we've all dinners at the ballpark.
That's right. Good deal. Well, thank you, gentlemen. We do appreciate you spending
you very
time
much.
with
Well,
us.
thank you for having us.
And enjoy the ball game tonight. And I got a feeling we'll be talking again soon. I think Dewey's going to put you all to work, whether you know it or not. Here, but, we'll see.
We'll see.
He's looking like, we'll see.
You will see.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate
Thank you very much,
Thank
Mike.
you very much.
All right. It is 8:56. Let's pause for news and a quick break. Well, before more news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. A New Mexico Silver Alert was issued Sunday for a missing man named Brett Deer. Deer is 60 years old. You can see his picture on the Roswell Police Facebook page. Deer was last seen in Roswell Saturday night, just after midnight. His direction of travel and destination were not known. If you know anything about the whereabouts of 60-year-old Brett Deer, please call 911. Police in Midland, Texas are urging people, especially women, to be on the lookout for a man described as a serial stalker. 34-year-old Santiago Granger has been identified as a suspect in a number of stalking cases in West Texas and southeastern New Mexico. Law enforcement says it believes Granger could be living in Carlsbad. He has previously worked in Odessa, Texas. You can see Granger's picture on the Midland Crime Stoppers Facebook page. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm Ryan Lang. Investors looking to bounce back this week. Alphabet headlines tech earnings. CrowdStrike still under fire. Wall Street coming off of a down week. 2 out of the 3 major indexes posting weekly losses. The S&P suffered its worst week in 3 months. Last week's market sell-off fueled by hefty tech losses. NVIDIA down about 9% over the past 5 days of trading. Apple shed about 5%. Traders shifting from mega-cap technologies ahead of anticipated rate cuts. Meanwhile, tech earnings season kicking off tomorrow. Alphabet reporting after the closing bell. Revenue forecast at more than $84 billion, a 13% increase over a year ago. Year to date, the Google parent up nearly 30%. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike under fire after last week's global IT outage. CrowdStrike says it was not a security issue, but a technical one. The outage impacting hospitals, airlines, financial services, and more. Microsoft users around the globe affected most of the day Friday. CrowdStrike stock tanked more than 11% in Friday's session. With the Market Report, I'm Ryan Lang.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Red Apple Audio Networks remembers Lou Dobbs. Resort living can be yours with 361 days of sunshine when you live at the residences at 400 Central in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now under construction. Call 727-205-8517. That's 727-205-8517. The residences at 400 Central in St. Petersburg, Florida. Go to 400central.com. That's the number 400central.com.
Are bugs eating your garden and mosquitoes chasing you back in the house? Ask yourself, what would Jim Gill do?
This is John from Roswell Seed. You know, we've been battling bugs in Roswell since 1898. And if Jim was here, he'd draw on his immense knowledge and send you home with the right stuff. Chase the bugs out of your garden and the mosquitoes out of your yard.
Don't give the bugs a head start. Head for Roswell Seed Company and find out, what would Jim Gill do?
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And it is 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle is testifying before a congressional committee today as calls mount for her to resign over security failures at a rally where a 20-year-old gunman attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump. Lawmakers have been expressing anger over how the gunman could get so close to Mr. Trump when he was supposed to be carefully guarded. Joe Biden's withdrawal from the U.S. presidential race injects greater uncertainty into the world at a time when Western leaders are grappling with wars in Ukraine and Gaza and a more assertive China in Asia. Donald Trump is calling Joe Biden the, quote, worst president in American history.
Reacting to President Biden's decision to drop out of the 2024 White House race, the former president said Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve. Trump went on to blame Biden's inner circle for hiding what he described as the president's total mental, physical, and cognitive demise. Looking ahead, Trump said whoever the left puts up now will just be more of the same. Greg Clugston, Washington.
A wildfire in Salt Lake City has forced people living uphill from Utah's state capital to evacuate. Salt Lake City Fire Department Division Chief Bob Silverthorne.
Of course, we want to make early notifications as much as we can. We need to prioritize those folks and structures that we need to do as triage on, get those people out as soon as possible if we deem that it's necessary. We've initiated emergency alerting.
The blaze on Ensign Peak remains uncontained, with more than 100 firefighters working to protect nearby homes on Sunday. Rescuers are searching for dozens missing after heavy rains caused flash flooding and a bridge collapse in different parts of China. On Wall Street, the Dow is ahead 158 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
A tree kangaroo is being celebrated at the Bronx Zoo.
The baby of a tree-dwelling kangaroo named Polly at the Bronx Zoo made its public debut, poking its pink head out of its mom's furry white pouch. Jessica Moody is a zoo curator.
Possibly one of the cutest animals to have ever lived. They look like stuffed animals.
The baby Matchies are known as Joeys, and they wait until they are 7 months old to peek out of their mom's pouch. That tracks with the December birth of this one.
It's a small population, and because of that, births are not very common. So it's a rare and exciting event.
The zoo says there are only about 2,500 tree kangaroos in the wild, 42 in captivity. Julie Walker, New York.
The Environmental Protection Agency is awarding $4.3 billion in grants to fund projects in 30 states to reduce climate pollution. News and analysis at townhall.com. There have been multiple strikes in the war in Ukraine.
Russia and Ukraine have exchanged drone missile and shelling attacks. The exchange of fire on both sides saw 2 people killed in the Russian-occupied Donetsk region, while Ukrainian officials said Russian strikes wounded at least 5 people. Along the front line in the east, Russia said it had taken control of 2 villages, one in the Kharkiv region and one in the Luhansk region. Overnight, Ukraine's air defenses intercepted 35 of the 39 drones launched by Russia, according to an Air Force commander. In addition, Russia launched 3 ballistic missiles and 2 guided air missiles, which did not reach their targets, according to the commander. I'm Karen Chamas.
U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has appointed a bipartisan independent panel to review this month's assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope your Monday's going well.
Welcome to it.
Sunny at the moment. Suppose we got good chances of rain and all that today, so we'll see how it shapes up.
You'd be mighty proud of me.
Yeah?
So both mornings, for some reason, okay, well, I know exactly why. Both mornings that we were in Denver, our breakfast was Einstein Brothers bagels.
Okay.
My friend has a serious affinity for Einstein Brothers bagels.
Okay.
I mean, they're I'll get a bagel and a schmear every time I go there. I don't like their sandwiches, really. I'm not a huge fan of their bagel sandwiches. But again, cool. Fine. So the first morning, I went ahead and just got a bagel with some schmear, but I got the green chili bagel from the Einstein Brothers.
In Colorado.
While we were enjoying our breakfast, sat at the table, I out loud, there was a couple tables filled up next to us, I out loud said, "This isn't green chili. This is crap." Kind of looked over their shoulder at me and then went about their business. I'm like, New Mexico, that's real green chili. And of course, by that point, my friend Allie was looking across the table, scowling at me like, "Stop it."
You're going to get us into a fight.
More just, she doesn't like me embarrassing her, and I'm very embarrassing. She's the person who out loud told me.
She sounds like my wife.
She said, "You are the most awkward person I have ever met."
Thank you.
Yes. And that actually stems from another visit to another Einstein Brothers Bagels in Vegas. They were doing their thing. I'm kind of leaned up on this
That
post.
one didn't have green chili, I'm sure.
They did have green chili.
Yeah.
That one, I was just kind of leaned up on this post, waiting on my order. Allie comes walking up, and I don't know why. I just kind of stood up. And when I stand up, I kind of adjust my shirt, And I did that, and then I was like, I put my hands like this, and I'm like, and then she walked up, she's like, "You are the most awkward person I've ever met in my entire life." I don't mean to do it. This is just who I am.
Well, and if I also remember of, like you said, the time you went to an Einstein Bagel and like Circus, and you're trying to read the menu, and you end up looking like you're creeping on some woman when you're just trying to read the menu.
Yep. That's same visit, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of fun stuff happens with the Einstein Brothers.
It's like you're telling. Wait a minute, I remember another Einstein story.
I'm an awkward fellow. What can I say? I come upon it honestly. I don't mean to be this way. It's just who I am.
It's the hint of Mr. Bean. Just a hint.
A little bit. You know how people say you can fake confidence? My fake confidence comes off as awkward. That's my fake confidence. That's so I can't fake it. That's why I was like, just be confident. I'm like, no, I'm awkward. I don't have confidence is not something I was imbued with.
Yeah. I understand. But I also get what because I've done very similar things, and then I'm like, oh, that's not appropriate. I just wasn't paying attention. So I've done those moments too, where or like I've had pictures taken of me, and it looks like I'm doing something way inappropriate. It's like, no, I don't know what was going, but that's not what I was doing. I'm looking at a certain thing. You're like, what are you looking at? I'm like, I don't know. It just
that tends to come up with me because because of how my glasses are, my eyes look very small in my glasses.
Yeah.
But whenever I look slightly over my glasses, people see the size of my actual eyes, and I look like a crazy person. So anytime I'm taking a group selfie with like a group of people, it's always like, oh, here, there's a group of friends, and who's that psychopath in the corner? So I'm like,
who's the big guy?
and then the other thing is, this came up this weekend. I'm like, I am a man of almost 40 years old. I have got to stop putting my hand up in a thumbs up or a peace sign in every friggin' photo I take. It's just, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you hit people of a certain age, it's always this.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Peace signs.
Not even peace signs, just more sideways.
Yeah, sideways.
You know, when I say peace sign, I see this. This is not peace, it's deuces.
My go-to, and I don't know why, is always just like I'm shilling a used car lot or something.
I've done this one a lot.
Yeah, double
that
thumbs.
One. Oh, who's got two thumbs? Yeah. This guy. Yeah, one of those movies, but moves. But I just don't use my hands in photos. Like if you look at me, I'm just kind of, and the hands aren't in the pictures. I have a standard.
I'm bad with smiling.
Standard cheese.
And again, this is I've made this joke before, but it's these are new, so I'm not really sure exactly how to smile in them yet.
Well, and my true teeth, happy moments are probably me laughing with open mouth. So when I smile, it's an affect I put on.
I'll usually kind of give a
yeah,
and that takes a little bit of the sting off of it.
Yeah,
open mouth a little bit, but
those are the like you caught me in a moment where I'm actually happy and laughing, as opposed to a pose thing where I'm like, I don't know, show teeth, no teeth, I don't know.
If I can find something to genuinely laugh about before a photo, it's fine.
Like you said, I don't know what to do with my mouth. I'm literally like teeth, no teeth, big smile, little smile. I don't want to look doofy, but I don't want to look like I'm mad either.
Same time with these, I run a real risk of a Mr. Bill or a Fire Marshal Bill situation going on. So I got to kind of be careful with that. Let me show you something.
Take all your pictures of Buc-ee's. Just tell me you're doing the Buc-ee's.
There you
Speaking of, did you hit any place like that, like a Buc-ee's or?
You know what? I got to say,
a place like of that.
We're getting a Maverick here in town, which I'm very excited about.
Coming along nicely.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they have the full line of stuff at their Bonfire Grill, because we ran into several Bonfire Grills, which is the restaurant inside of the Maverick, that didn't have the steak taco that they had to do in Artesia, and those things are amazing. So I was very upset. But we found this place. I've been there before, but I stumbled on this place called Quick Trip.
Oh yeah, I know about
QT?
Quick Trips. Yeah, in Texas they got them.
Okay,
they're delightful.
This, I think I might have found my Mecca. Along one side, one wall is a full fountain of teas, of every different kind of tea you could want. Light tea, green tea, black tea, all the flavors, blackberry, huckleberry, peach, Mister. He was there. Then on the other side, all the way on the other side of the QT, is another fountain that is just iced, like the iced drinks I can get from the Allsups here, and or Slurpee flavors, but they're all like their own unique flavor, like puckerberry and like white cherry. And then next to that is the giant fountain with every single possible fountain beverage you could possibly ever want.
Not to mention like a full thing with pizzas, burgers, chicken.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
that place is awesome.
I had Thanksgiving at QT. I don't know, half dozen years ago. It's when the fam and we all went to a Cowboys game for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So we went to the game and everything. We got out and we're a little hungry. Of course, it's Thanksgiving. So I said, "Oh, hit the QT." And they're like, "What?" I said, "Trust me, the QT is like a Wawa." And so we went there and like, "Wow, there's a lot of stuff here." I said, "See, I told you." I got like tacos. I got. I went back to the hotel room with like a smorgasbord of these foods.
I'm telling you, that visit to that QT changed my perspective of what a visit to a service station can possibly be.
I'm a fan. So I'm excited for Maverick. If they've got some of that stuff, God bless America. That's what makes America great. It's those convenience stores,
selection and variety,
restaurant places.
It's the spice of life.
The Wawas, the QTs, the Buc-ee's, the Mavericks of the world. These are what make America great.
Yes, indeed.
Where else can I get a jerky and a fried steak sandwich?
Right.
and a brisket burrito and motor oil for my RV.
I will say there are other locations, but the shopping malls are going extinct, so that's a dwindling. Actually, I split a
maybe fireworks.
Yeah, I split an order of it was like an orange chicken thing, not a Panda, but like one of those places, and then a cheesesteak with my sister. That was like one of the lunches that we had.
Nice,
because we just ended up at the food court in the mall.
Nice, I like it.
It was
variety is the spice of life.
You're not going anywhere in the downtown Denver area unless you plan about 6 days in advance.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have a lot of sit-down restaurant experiences. Most of our stuff was like,
you
we'll
just got to know
grab
where to
something on
go,
the
and you
way.
got to have an insider to Sherpa you through around some of that stuff.
Our parking space was $30.
Oofa.
Yeah. So we decided that since we paid for our space and we got to the concert early enough, we're just gonna camp out in the car because we rented this space. By our estimation, that gave us that space for 24 hours.
We tailgated.
So we thought about going back like the next day and just parking our car there and be like, hey, we still own this spot.
All right.
Show them the receipt.
To 12 noon.
24 hours, man.
That's right. We got it till tonight. But yeah, I get that. I understand that. Well, cool. But yeah, I'll eat those all day. I hope. I can't wait for those to be open it up. I'm like, we're going for lunch.
Yeah. There's there's a lot of Denver I didn't get to explore. So there's so much amazing architecture and
another trip.
A lot of art. Oh yeah, definitely another trip.
Never did get to go to Waterworld. So
a lot of fantastic artwork. Yeah, and honestly, Colorado Springs, there's a Great Wolf Lodge right there. We might just shorten the trip.
Oh yeah, maybe even bring the kids for the Great Wolf Lodge.
Let's not push it.
No,
my vacations are for me. All right.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe I might be.
I'm going to the Lone Wolf Lodge. That's where I'm going.
The Me Time Casino.
That's right. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then L.A. Rodriguez with Lone Depot will be joining us, and he's brought a guest. Angelica. Is it Angelica? I'm going to go with Angelica Leyva until I get corrected. With Harwell and Associates Real Estate. She's going to join us as well, too. So we'll have that conversation, talking about houses and affording the houses.
And the money to get them.
That's right. And the money it takes to own one. So, yeah, we'll talk all that here in just a bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with local news, Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But Foist, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore with your Pecos Valley weather. Elevated chances for showers with thunderstorms back in the forecast area wide for today. Some of these producing some extremely heavy rain. So please be careful as you're heading out and about. High temperatures are ranging right around 80 to 83 degrees for Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Start to dry out through the latter half of tonight. Our low right around 65. Chances for wet weather lower on Tuesday. The high mid to upper 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 72 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68% with winds out of the north at 9 miles per hour. We are looking at a 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms today. Mostly cloudy, even though it's partly cloudy, almost full-on sunny right now. A high of 81 today. Winds will be out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. They say new rainfall amounts between a tenth and a quarter of an inch today. Could see a little bit more if we do get a thunderstorm. Tonight, we're looking at a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before midnight. Partly cloudy, expected overnight low of 64 degrees. Winds will be out of the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Expect another, they're saying between a tenth and a quarter of an inch of rain tonight. Unless we do get a thunderstorm rolling through the area, then things will pick up. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 88 for a high. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and 93. Winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 96. Friday, warming up more, sunny and 95. And then the weekend, mostly sunny, 95 Saturday. A slight chance of rain Saturday night. Sunny and 97 on Sunday. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break. Then we'll talk houses and all that on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender, loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660. Fergalicious.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Upgrade from your old vehicle into a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle for less during the summer sales event at the all-new Roswell Ford. From now till the end of the month, Roswell Ford needs to sell 58 new Ford and quality pre-owned vehicles to hit our sales goal. So we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, of course, from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Roswell.
And has brought a guest with him.
Yes, I did.
Angelica?
Yes.
Did I get it?
Yes,
Angelica?
you got it.
Angelica Leyva. She's with Harwell and Associates Real Estate. Good morning. How are you
Good
today?
morning. I'm doing good.
Good
How are
deal.
you?
Good deal. I had about a 50-50 chance of watching.
You did good. You did good.
I keep wanting to go Angelica. I want to go Angelica, like Angelica Houston.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah. But, of course, and now, so for folks not familiar, Elliot is the guy, the financial person. When you're going to procure your loan for your home, he's the man that talks the numbers, the finances, the person you should see first in the process of owning your own home. This is the person you want to talk to first. It's to see exactly how much you can afford. So when you go to pick your home, whether it's your first home or your dream home or whatever, you know exactly what kind of money you're dealing with. And then we go and talk to Angelica here and say, hey, I talked to Elliot. I'm approved for $200,000. What can you show me in that price range? And then that's kind of how the chain of events works when you're buying your first home or any home for that matter.
Correct.
Yeah.
So once you got through Elliot, then you come and say, all right, show me then you get to do the fun part.
That's how it should go, but it's okay. You can always come to your agent.
Sure.
And then, of course, we'll ask
and you
you
can
have
set
you
them up through that.
Yeah, and then that's when we'll be like, okay, we'll talk to so-and-so, and then, talk to Elliot, and let's get going.
Well, and I imagine for you as a real estate agent, that's probably one of the biggest heart when people have their heartbreak moments, like, oh, I wanted to get that house, but couldn't, or whatever.
And
It's
they don't
because
know
they
they
realize they have their heart set on something. It's like, yeah, but that's a $400,000 house.
Oh, yeah, because they do come to me. They're
Yeah.
like, hey, I seen this house. I want to check it out. I'm like, well, let's get you established first. Let's make sure.
Sure.
How much house you can get.
We don't want to discourage you for something here
for all
because
you know,
this is out of
you
your.
can either get, but had to be a little bit less.
Sure.
Or hey, maybe you can even go more.
Sure. And this is where Elliot, when I have these conversations, he's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Okay, you can't get to that house today, but let's talk. Let's build you up. When homeowners, 99% of the time, there's always an exception to a rule because if someone hits a lottery or something weird happens. but 99% of the time you build and you work. And when you're younger and stuff and you're buying, a good time to buy the first home. I know people say this and getting established, but the younger you can get into home ownership, the more you're investing into yourself.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea. The sooner the better. I mean, sure. If you're only making, $100 a week and you're trying to, let's build there. Yeah. But you can still get there and start building that stuff. And that's where Elliot really works and says, okay, no, I can't put you in a $450,000 house right now when you're only earning X this year.
You could do 410.
Yeah, but here's the thing: we put you in your first home, your starter home. Maybe it's a $100,000 home. Maybe maybe it's ready to move in, but maybe you need to replace the flooring or paint the walls or landscape the yard.
Yeah, the first home, that's something,
Yeah.
The first home may not always be your dream home.
Sure.
But hey, it's an investment.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what we're saying.
Jump. It's a great start.
Because every time you're making a mortgage payment on that home, that money's going back to you.
Yeah.
That money's like when you're renting right now, you're paying
somebody else's mortgage.
Yeah, you're building into their nest egg, into their basically value that they're building into this home. So because real estate by and large, unless you make some serious blunders in your purchasing, always increases in value.
Correct.
You own a home 9 times out of 10, you live in it 5 years, it's going to be, or 10 years, it's going to be worth more than what you paid for it 5 or 10 years ago.
I mean, like we spoke before, Roswell's almost like in a bubble.
Yeah.
Than everybody else out there in the market. So it's very weird here, Angelica and I, we partnered in for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so kind of trust each other really well.
Sure.
We help each other really good.
And I know in your line of work, whether it's the financial side or actually selling and purchasing homes, reputation's everything, and it's all about working with and when you come and finding your lenders and things. So, and like you said, you guys have had a lot of working relationships with clients and things, and you kind of know how each other handle your clients and customers, and that serves each other well in your business. So when customers come to you saying, you say, I know a guy, he can work with you, and you give him touch, and vice versa. You're just saying, I got it now. Do you recommend an agent I talk to? You're like, hey, let's talk.
Correct. Yeah, we partner each other, and we help each other. And she's bilingual too. Okay, so
that helps.
Absolutely.
I'm bilingual, so that really helps.
It's a perfect
well, in a world where we live in southeast New Mexico, and
right.
and most people speak either English and Spanish, or Spanish, or just English.
Spanglish.
Yeah, or a combination thereof.
Spanglish.
And then you're talking to private people and homeowners and things. It's very handy when you have someone like yourself that can kind of navigate and negotiate without getting. Because let's face it, language barriers. Sometimes the feelings and I hear what you're saying, but I don't
feel comfortable.
I'm not sure if I read where you're at.
Yeah, it can make the situation a whole lot scarier.
Sure. and with you in the mix, it kind of. Yeah. All right, I got a foot in all the worlds here, so I can understand. I can understand the sentiment behind what they're saying too. So that's a big deal.
And that's why when I build a relationship, like me and her have a really good relationship, and I try to do that with every single agent out there. Okay. But I mean, she's awesome. A lot of people don't realize, Yeah. Well, the things that we do for some people is incredible.
Oh man, it's insane.
We go the extra mile and we take care of some things,
to
make sure it happens, and that makes a nice and smooth ride for the buyer.
Yes.
I kind of want to ask because we talk a lot about with Elliot and securing finances and the right do's and don'ts and some of that. Since I have you as a real estate agent, I kind of want to talk a little do's and don'ts with you on that. Because we talk the money side a little bit. Okay, we got our money procured. We're ready to buy a home. How do you get the most bang for your buck with that? Is there certain things that you notice that people either look for or don't look for that just say, you're really kind of wasting your money, or no, you're getting a lot of bang by you know what I mean? Is there certain like things to look for, avoid that kind of people think add or subtract value to their home, but really?
So every purchase is different. Every buyer and seller is different. So no transaction, no one's the same.
There's no cookie cutter.
No, there isn't.
That's why we don't get bored.
Yeah. So we really just have to. I have to listen to, for example, my buyers. We specifically want to stay with the 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I show them anything that's in their price range that'll qualify for their loan because not all houses fit the loan.
Gotcha.
And that's something a lot of people don't know. So anything that's available in their price range, in their desired size, count. Maybe even condition-wise, I'll probably stretch it a little bit just so that they can see the broader spectrum. And then from that list, it can get overwhelming. I like to whittle it down. Like pick the ones that you really think might fit your needs, your family, yourself, and then we can go see those. We can set up a day and we can knock them all out. And
so is location a bigger variable there than the actual house on it sometimes?
Location is the biggest, kind of the biggest deal.
Sure.
And
because people figure the location's there, I can eventually put whatever I want that suits my needs. The location I can't move or change.
So the biggest thing I can say, like if you don't want the remodeled house or whatnot, get the ugly duckling of the neighborhood because you already know those houses are the value's already up there.
Sure.
And so anything you add to your little ugly duckling is just gonna bring the value.
It's going to turn and it's going to be an investment back into you. Yeah, definitely. That's money well spent. Because I imagine sometimes people think in those terms and then they put things or do things to the home and it's like you're not going to get the return on investment you think on that. A pool may or may not help you depending on where it's at and how the pool is done. You know what I mean? If you just dig a hole in the backyard and say I got a pool, that's going to detract. You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain things that people think and sometimes the simplest stuff is just the stuff making it look good. I know like when they talk curb appeal and stuff, it's some simple stuff is like fresh coats of paint, making sure the yard isn't full of weeds and everything looks like so. That's your biggest seller and things like that.
That's where she come in because we throw ideas to each other.
Sure.
Like when she has a home that somebody wants to get, she's like, Elliot, the place is like this, like that. What do we need to do? So, in the end of the day, we try to make it fit for the individual because if that's the home they want.
Sure.
Do we do a 2 or 3K renovation loan?
Sure.
Do we do a first time buying program? Where are we at? So we throw each other and try to get the best deal possible for the buyer.
And I imagine
and that's why we work real good together.
And that's why when people are selecting homes, maybe there's two there. There's like, okay, it's something between this one and between this one. And then it's certain things, but like if you're looking like I want a hot tub, I want a pool and those don't check those boxes, that's where you're kind of talking, but location should, because at the end of the day, you can always throw a hot tub in there. You can always add a pool. You can't.
You can always rip up the carpet and put tile,
You can't put in nice schools and nice neighborhood around you. That happens outside of your variable. So go for that, and you can always add later. And that's kind of what you're saying. If you see an inn, even if it's a dumpy house in a nice neighborhood, maybe go that route because you can change the house. The neighborhood you can't. And that's why you're saying maybe that's the way you get in. You want to get into an exclusive or highly sought area. If you're willing to put a little sweat equity into it or invest the time and energy to do that, whether you do it yourself or hire contractors, but if you're willing to go that route, there is advantages because, you get the neighborhood you want, but you also, as you customize it, whether you do it over time or one foul swoop, now it's yours. You're putting your stank on it, so to speak.
And you even made the property even work more too.
If I want a pink bedroom, by golly, I'm gonna have a pink bedroom. You know what I mean?
No, and it's funny too because it's not always the magic moment. Like, this is the house. Yes, I do get those ones where I either show one house or 10 houses, and they find the perfect one that they absolutely love, and this is it. I have even myself speaking for myself when I was looking for my first house. My realtor, she's the one that got me into real estate.
So she must have been good at it. She inspired you to
She was great, yeah.
To get into the profession.
She mentioned this one house, and I'm like, oh my God, I hate that house. I didn't even go inside. I'm like, I hate that house. And so she convinced me to go look at it. And I went to go look at it. And I looked at the neighborhood. The house is ugly. Ugly. But I looked at the neighborhood. I'm like, oh, we can make it work.
I could see myself living in this neighborhood.
Yeah. Fits what we need. The neighborhood fits what we need.
Sure.
With time, we'll do what we got to do to it. So that's the house I got. And a lot of the times too, I'll show them a list. They won't pick the one that I think will fit them best. That's okay. let's see all of them.
Sure.
And then they don't like any of them. I'm like, let's just check this one out.
Sure.
Let's just check it out. I guess. And sure enough, they walk in like, this is it.
Sure.
This
Well,
is it.
but that's a good thing too, because let's face it, and this is something Ellie and I say every time is buying a home is probably the biggest purchase any one
Biggest
person
purchase,
makes in their
biggest
life.
investment.
You know, that's the biggest thing you're going to. Not every day. You know, there's a reason why when you're signing those papers, you're sweating a little bit. It's like, I never wrote a check for this amount
And
of
it
money
doesn't
before.
help
You
that
know
the
what I mean?
stack of papers are probably like 5-inch thick.
Sure, yeah, it is a sweaty palm-inducing experience when you the first time you do it.
And like you
because-
and I said all the time, if it doesn't have to be the Taj Mahal. You can make it the Taj Mahal.
and that's
afterwards.
just it. And that's really where you can come in and you talk to them and say, look, I know you don't see it now, but
it's there.
Here's the potential if you're willing. And as a real estate agent, you probably have a lot of connections with the contractors, with these people, and so sometimes you're saying, look, if you want to remodel this bathroom, I know a person that I can give them their card, and they can come in and tell you exactly what it's going to cost, and we can have them come in now and look at it and just give you a ballpark of what that's going to take if you want to, if you're.
Oh, yeah. How many times do I, like, call you and say, hey, do these numbers work?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, give me a second.
No,
or
and
I'll
we
call
throw
a
back and
contractor
forth.
like, hey, how long will it take you to do this?
Yeah. And I imagine that's where the good real estate agents come in. That's where they help and navigate. That's where real estate agents earn their money.
Because a lot of people, like, they don't want to guess. They want sometimes they want answers right then and there.
Absolutely.
Like, okay, this is even, if I'm going to consider this house, what is it going to cost
They're
for
trying to-
this? Or am I even going to be able to
They
afford
want
the
concrete
payments?
variables.
They want it
I know.
right there, yeah.
And that's when it comes when you have a good relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Because we throw stuff back at each other real quick.
Sure.
Okay. And I actually have an agent say, you could call Elliot anytime, 24/7. It's like, don't tell people that.
Oh, no, I tell people that.
She's like, yeah, that's me. I'm the one telling
It's
them
the funniest thing.
that.
They're like, oh, okay, all right. But we throw information back and forth to each other.
Sure.
And that makes it easier because the fact of the matter, sometimes time is also of the essence, and we have to get some answers to these people really quickly. And a lot of times we have to give them answers over and over and over.
Yeah, we definitely have to repeat ourselves because it's so much information that they might forget or they might understood it or whatever.
Sure.
So a lot of the things that we do and say definitely get repeated.
Sure.
Oh,
And I imagine too and this is where you probably deal with this much more than he does is sellers and buyers enter the negotiation process here. There's a lot that can change in that, and there could be a lot of stipulations. Be like, okay, I get it. The family room's carpet is shot, needs to be changed, and all right, we'll knock $1,000 off, or we'll replace it for you if we keep the price the same.
All that
that's
can be negotiated.
Yeah,
all
and
that.
that's the stuff. That's the devil's in the details.
And that's
kind
what
of
I
thing.
tell people. I'm like, I'll guide you, but don't be scared to tell me like what
Sure.
you want.
Yeah, if it's
and
not
then
perfect.
I'll advise you whether
Maybe we
what
can get
route
some
we can.
constituent. Okay, the
What
roof
route we
needs working. Okay, and by the way, there's usually you can't really sell houses with bad roofs. They really frown upon that one.
Almost impossible.
Yeah, someone's
know.
going to say something. But if it's that kind of stuff, that's where your agent goes to bat for you and says,
Yes.
all right, we're going to make sure that's taken care of. So and we're going to put it in the contract. And before everyone we give you keys, we're going to make sure
And
that
sometimes
those things
it's
are done.
difficult for them because sometimes the sellers they have a mindset that
Sure.
is very hard to break.
Sure.
And they want a house to be sold for this amount, and it may not even be
Sure.
worth that. So it makes it difficult.
Well,
for them.
and this is where real estate agents and lenders have to educate too, and that's where
we
it's
constantly
like
doing that.
and because on the buying side, but on the selling side, let's face it, it's no different than anything. If you're selling a car or anything, if it's something that someone has an emotional attachment to, they're going to put an inflated value on it.
Most definitely. I've done it myself.
And
it's just
sometimes
human
you
nature.
deal with
It's
that
just
in
human
the real
nature.
estate world.
It's normal.
Yeah,
Very normal.
But here's the problem with that: there is no lending institution on the planet. Elliot Rodriguez would not have a job today if he gave loans based on people's emotional value.
Right. So that's where
close.
that's where the appraisal comes in.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
let's say, for example, you put in an offer on a house for $300,000, it only appraised for $295,000.
Yeah.
Unless the buyer can come up with the additional $5,000, typically the seller needs to go down.
Sure.
So
And
or
that's
else the
where-
deal kind of dies.
And that's where you come in and advise
Yeah,
and say,
and
look,
they
it's-
negotiate
look,
and all that.
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
a bunch. So we negotiate. Let's
Yeah.
say they get the loan, they find the house, we negotiate, it goes under contract. then there's still a lot. There's still inspections. There's still make sure surveys. There's still there's still a lot in between.
Sure.
And in the in between, if things arise, like let's say something came up in the home inspection.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we got to renegotiate again.
Because that's got to be addressed,
Mhm.
because now this impacts the future financial value of this home.
Yeah,
Is
the
it-
survey
is this
comes in.
something-
Okay, is something wrong there? Now we got to talk about
If it's
that
full
again.
of termites, you're just
Yeah.
finding out about it. People aren't going to pay $200,000 for a termite-infested home. That's
Yeah.
only,
Let's
that ain't worth
get it
that.
treated.
Exactly.
Let's get it
And
treated.
that's where a good agent comes through.
Exactly.
Because the agent goes to negotiate for the individual. There's a lot of good communication going on. I mean, the worst thing that you can ever hear from your buyer is that my agent hasn't called me back.
Sure.
I mean, and those things happen, unfortunately.
And this is something.
But when you have an agent that actually is going to be there for you and take care of
Absolutely.
you and take care of business, the same thing goes with me and her. If I was not a good lender, that I would actually communicate with her and actually listen to what they need, and I tell her yes, we can do that, and I'll make it work for them. There has to be a two-way highway to help each other. Because
Absolutely.
if we don't do that, every deal that we have will fall through.
And this gets back to people's credit, their history, and everything. Sure, if we all walked in with 800 credit scores, and
Wouldn't that just be the perfect world?
yeah, exactly. But that's not the case.
That's not always the
It's not the case.
And both of you guys at the end of the day want to make sure that people hit the American dream. That
most
you
definitely.
you both want to see them sitting on the front porch with the key in their hand, and the whole family about to it's our house now. Get off my lawn. That's
we only
the
have,
moment we want to see.
I know. We only have one agenda. And that agenda is to deliver that home for that individual.
And so
we do, and we turn over everything that we can to be sure that happens.
But that's why, and that's where the real good lenders and real estate agents come in, because there's a lot generally that go. I mean, sure, there's very rare where a sale goes through and everything is copacetic and does right out the gate. There's something, we discovered there's a money issue here, or oops, there is water damage here. What are we going to do about that? We noticed some roof work that needs to get done here. There's always one of those
things
situations.
are going to come up.
Yeah.
Things are going to come up, but there's no reason to panic.
Yeah, and that's where the
Things
agent
come up,
comes in and
let's
do
address
that.
it and see if we can take care of it.
What I always tell my buyers, is that Angelica and I are the ones that worry and deal with all this stuff. All you need to do is go and take care of your house, take care of yourself.
Sure.
Keep working, keep taking care of business, and give us what we ask you.
Absolutely.
And that's it. You go on about your business and take care of things, and and wait it out. We'll take care of this stuff.
And that's kind of where we talk about, especially on, and this is, it actually applies on both sides, but probably a little more so in Elliot's world, where, if you think of these folks kind of like your attorney, and what I mean by that is, I get it. Not everybody's financial situation's perfect. You're like, I'm embarrassed I didn't pay that bill, or I defaulted
And
on
that's
that.
okay.
Exactly.
We're human.
but here's the thing: if you are honest and upfront with people like Elliot and Helen here, then you.
Oh yeah.
Then they can work around it.
We'll work through it, and we'll
and they
take care
can
of
come
it.
up with a plan. It's when all the things set up and written and getting ready to go, and they're like, I can't get you approved because you didn't pay $30 to Amazon or whatever it is here. And that's and I get it. Sometimes you're like, I didn't even know that happened, or I didn't, it happens. But that's, you got to think of these two as kind of like your lawyer in that way. And
we really are kind of.
Tell them the good, the bad, and the
I can't
ugly.
say that.
Yeah,
I'm just a really good agent.
But tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that way, you guys don't have surprises, and you can work, because. Sure, your job would be easy if everyone walked in with 800 credit scores and not one single bill outstanding, and their debt-to-credit ratio was immaculate and their income level is immaculate. And sure, that'd be easy.
You'd be surprised how many times something happened.
Yeah.
Most of the time, Angelica doesn't know because I take care of it, okay? But sometimes I do have to share a few things because we have to overcome something.
Sure,
okay?
absolutely.
And a few times, we have to, like, hey, by the way, the buyer did this, and now we need to overcome that.
Yeah.
Like a new job.
Yeah.
A new job in the middle of the deal.
And we
stuff
say
like
it every
that.
time. When you are going through a home loan application, that is not the time to buy major purchases in your home.
Not at all.
And I'm talking even something as much as changing your cell phone plan can ruin or put a huge wrench in that whole work. Sometimes you get people and they're in the process, and he's like, hey, I'm going to get you for $200 and all that. and then they're great. We go buy a new home, and then they get that lined up, and then they spend $10,000 on furniture for the new home that they just put on a credit card. No. Once the deal's closed and they hand you the keys, then go talk to the furniture store.
I was going to give it a couple days, man, just to make sure.
Right.
I just got a call about that this weekend.
Yeah.
And like, Elliot, I'm about to go and buy some stuff and this and that, and we just closed Friday, right?
Pay cash.
And like,
cash is king.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already clear and we're funded and everything. So yeah, you could go ahead afterwards. If there's any question ever, just ask.
But I
ask
like
your
that.
lender.
I'm glad that they called.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Most of my buyers do. Most of my buyers do.
Well, and that's just it. And
no one will know.
And please do that to whether you choose these two or whoever you choose to do these things for you. Please consider them your expert. If you don't know,
well, you can choose us. We
absolutely. I highly
together.
I highly recommend these. But wherever you go when it comes to this stuff, please ask those questions. Please know those things. Protect yourself.
There is no dumb question.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're just thinking about buying. You don't know if you can buy. I don't care.
Right.
Go to your realtor. Go to your lender. Ask questions.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've even had people that have been renting their whole lives, and they're like, "Well, I don't even know if I qualify." Like, well, how do you know if you haven't tried? Worst case scenario, you don't qualify at the moment, but if you have a good lender like Elliot, he'll advise you what you need to do to get you there.
Yeah, he'll give you the
and we done that.
The script basically to do that.
Yeah.
Here's the game plan.
He will email you a list of boom, 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 what you need. And if you don't know what pay stubs is, what an appointment letter is, we'll explain those things to you.
And that's kind of the beauty. We talk about credit scores and all this stuff and how so important your life is attached to those things.
Numbers are so important.
But here's the thing too: you can screw it up royally, but it's fixable. Like no matter how royally screwed up you get your credit. With a few simple things, you start turning it around, and that number jumps exponentially quicker. With sometimes just paying off a loan or getting just something simple,
adjusting a few things.
Yeah. Or let's say you didn't pay your Discover card 6 years ago. You can call most of the time now, and that one can go away, or pay $10 and they'll remove it.
Yeah, because I think after 7 years, it's supposed to automatically drop anyway, or
and
something
you can,
like that.
and sometimes it'll still show up, but again. Because title will show all of that too.
Sure.
Once you run your numbers in the title company, all those things will show up. But if at a certain year, let's say 7 years, you can dispute it and it'll just fall off.
Absolutely.
The most important things nowadays is what you've done in the past 2 years.
Absolutely.
That is the most, and even just the last 12 months is the most imperative part of it.
Yeah, they want consistency.
Yeah, because
lately,
imagining somebody has
They understand that you were young and dumb sometimes.
3 to 5 collections in the past 12 months and you're late on everything. Of course, you're going to have a little problem getting approved. You know what I mean? But I overcome all those things because I tell them what to do. And there's things I can do.
Well, and here's the other thing, too, is, you get in and maybe we get you in. Maybe your interest rate's a little bit higher now. That's the beauty of interest rates. What comes up must come down. What comes down must come up. So you're sitting in your house, and then maybe 2 years later, it dropped a full percentage point. Guess what?
Angelica's waiting for the race to get better so she can refinance.
I'm the one that didn't have a choice because I built.
Sure.
And I got the high interest
Well, you need
rate.
a house when you need a house.
Yeah, I got the. So what is that saying that date the interest rate, marry the house type thing? You can always refinance.
Sure. And then, by the way, as you're improving your credit even more.
You're just gonna get better.
Now you're like, look, my credit's 750 now. It used to be 650 when I did this. Now it's 750.
Well,
I got 2 years of payment history. All right, maybe I can get a lower rate now.
I remember when she told me, like, Elliot, I want to build me a house. And like, okay, let's do it. You know, so we got it all
Mind you, I didn't think it was possible. I was even doubting myself.
Sure. I know, and I tell her, give me everything, and I'll tell you if we can do it. And that was a little while ago, like a couple of years ago, almost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
when I wanted to,
she was so worried that she didn't do it, and we actually got her pre-approved.
Sure.
This is the funniest thing, though. I forgot. I think we just got busy and you slowed down and you decided not to do it just yet, but just keep giving me this stuff.
My husband wanted to wait. He had he had just got a new job and was promoting and
Exactly.
learning and journeying out and stuff like that. So we waited. We thought it would be best to wait, which now I'm like,
Young couple
growing
in life, basically.
But at the same time,
exactly.
this shows you because
But sometimes it's not better to wait. That's what I'm trying to
That's
say.
Exactly. Well, and that's just it. I think we talk ourselves out of it or over intimidated
It
by
really
the
does.
process.
It really does.
No,
and then
it
you
is
get in it,
scary.
you're like, that's what I was worried
That's
about.
my profession, and it was scary for me.
Well, the funniest thing is when I got her pre-approved, I say, yes, you can do it. And
Sure.
I think she didn't even believe it for a moment, I guess.
Well,
because I think she was like worried, like, oh, see, I can really do it.
I was even still worried while we were building. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to run out of money.
So this is the perfect example because she came to me and we did it.
Sure.
And I can broker it out to another building company.
Sure.
But I gave her the choice because I have relationships here in town too, in people that she even knows herself.
Sure.
And she decided, yeah, let's do the local because it's easier.
Yeah, local's always easier.
So I didn't just say, you know what, I'm gonna double dip here and I'm gonna have 2 deals. No, I gave her the choice because it's about taking care of the customer.
Absolutely.
And this is a perfect example. It's somebody that I deal business with. She trusts me, I trust her, so we do back and forth.
Sure.
So she got to see, okay, how it's done. And I keep telling her, no worries.
He answered my dumb questions.
And I keep telling
just in
her,
case.
this is a perfect example. An agent, okay, and she knows what she can do.
Sure.
But even her, she was like a little worried about it.
Absolutely.
And I tell her, no, you just keep doing your business.
And
you
it's,
keep doing stuff.
it's natural. When you're
Yeah, it's
talking
normal.
6-figure numbers for things, that's unless you're a Trump or a Bancroft or whatever out there, you know, 6-figure numbers are very scary.
Yeah.
And so I don't care who you are.
So even then, if it was scary for me, that's my profession, just imagine how
This is a
scary
good
it is
example.
for
Sure. This is what I'm talking
a
about.
brand new buyer.
But
and a buyer that probably came from a generation that has never bought before.
Absolutely.
That's even scarier.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And
you're
that's
right.
why I always tell them.
And that's what I want to show you. It's like, come see it. Come do it. And
that's why we always say that.
And I imagine for you, that's probably made you a better real estate agent because the things you've learned through your own experiences doing this stuff.
Oh, she's going to be even better when she does. Somebody wants to build a
I'm
house.
sure you've had a lot of your clients that are looking in very much in the similar situation you were in here, and you're like, "Look, I just did this myself. Let me show you how it's done." And,
I really have to sometimes tell them, like, you're not the only one. You are not the only one. You're not alone at this.
Absolutely.
You do have to buckle down. Like, buckle
It does
down.
take discipline.
If you want a house, you're going to get your house.
It's
Trust
like
me.
any other goal in life. If you want it, you're going to have to work for it.
Definitely.
Don't
It's not gonna
nothing's
come
come
to you.
free.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not as hard as you think. And once you get it's kind of like working out and creating it's like working out's hard. But once you establish a routine and you kind of then you're like, all right, now and home ownership and your finances is kind of the same way. Establishing routines, patterns, knowing exactly what to do here.
So we think it's hard, but it really isn't.
It's not. It's just
I think
planning.
It's just all in your head for the most of the
Sure.
part. And as long as you submit whatever your lender gives you to submit, listen to our advice. Don't pay things off. Don't close anything out,
Sure.
but pay things off. It really is easy.
And I think it's a good personal lesson because it really forces you to say, what am I spending my money on, and do I really need to spend my money on that?
Exactly.
Because if you think about it, her deal.
Yeah.
Her deal, I mean, if you think about it, we actually me and her were waiting. We're trying to just waiting for these things to get done.
Sure.
And because when you're building a home, sometimes things take a little longer than it usually supposed to.
Yeah, it never goes as planned.
Anytime you do a
6 months,
construction,
it's going to be 7, 8.
I don't think I'm 51 years old, and I've never seen a construction project start on the date that they initially said it was going to finish on the date they said it was
that
going
just went down to the penny.
I don't want to hear it.
Because I know her took a little longer, but you know what? It wasn't hard.
It wasn't hard.
Like she was saying.
It was so worth it. Yes, I stressed because I wanted to. Because honestly, I kept thinking I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to run out of money. No, we didn't.
Right.
Because I was careful. I paid attention.
Sure.
And it was just me psyching myself out.
Sure.
But honestly, if I didn't stress myself, it would have been so easy.
Sure.
And I would have enjoyed the process a whole lot more.
And it's part of that's learning is if you do your homework, find the right people. You have the right lenders, you have the right contractors that are doing this work, and
she
do
did
your
good.
due
And
diligence.
she did really good.
Yeah.
Because whatever my assistant asked her that she needed from her, she got it for them.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Oh, she is heaven on earth.
Nice.
I have a good team.
Well,
so.
put them to work for you.
Yes.
That's the thing. And
that's what we do.
So I just saw the time. We probably need to wrap this up. But I know we kind of focus more on the real estate side here today.
That's fine.
But,
that's no big deal.
But put it this way. If your home and your family is looking to get in the market here, please talk to Elliot first so he can kind of give you what you're playing with. And then we'll go talk to Angelica here and say, let's go play.
And a lot of times we talk at the same time.
Sure. I mean, yeah, obviously.
So
but So first things first, reach out to Elliot at Loan Depot. You can call him direct, 719-237-4680. That's his cell. It's with him all the time. Leave a voicemail if he might be in a meeting or something. You can always call the office, 505, which is here in town, even though it's got a 505 number, 505-445-2070. Or you can shoot him an email, Elliot Rodriguez, one L on Elliot, Z for Rodriguez at the end, at loandepot.com, all one word. Or that's his actual email address. You can go to his website as well as www.loandepot.com/Elliot Rodriguez, all one word. And there you can see more about Elliot, more about all of what Loan Depot can offer, things like that, and everything else. For you, Angelica, what's the best way? Just call here, or what's the best way to kind of get the ball rolling?
So the fastest way to get a hold of me is just call me directly on my cell. It's 575-420-8044.
Okay.
Our office is 575-748-1036.
Okay.
We are located in Artesia, but I live here. I was born and raised here in Roswell, so I live here in Roswell.
There's a lot of people that work in Artesia and live here.
Oh, yeah.
And she actually has a listing that she wanted to.
I do. I have an amazing listing. I'll make it really quick. So it's 60 Carson City, located in Dexter. It is a double wide mobile home on permanent foundation, so it qualifies for all the loans.
Okay.
The asking price is $230,000.
Okay.
3-bedroom, 2-bath, a little over 1,800 square feet. A little over 3 acres.
Okay, so it's got 3 acres of land.
Yeah,
nice.
Clean, nice property. I mean, it's one to look at.
Excellent, and that's the beauty. If you're like, well, I don't want a double wide. Well, you got 3 acres of land out there. We can put something else out there.
You can build a house if you want.
You can live in it, and it's 3 acres. We can build a house.
Not far from town. It's great.
I mean, if it's perfect for you already, awesome. But if you're looking to want to upgrade, this is what we were talking about earlier. You can get your foot in the door, and let's do this. If you're like, I don't want a double wide. I want a permanent structure. Okay. It's your land. You get to do what you want with it.
Out there that are listening, don't be afraid of what is happening in the market, what is happening in election year, all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that stuff. If you need to buy a home, you got the issue, do it. You need a team like this, that we can communicate back and forth and make sure that you get the house that you need. And that's very important.
Yeah, it's always a great time to buy.
And that's what makes it a good buying experience or a bad. It's not always. I mean, sure, it's nicer when you paid less for it. Yes,
of course.
But interest rates are going to be what they do, and life's going to do what it's going to do. You need a home. You need, that's the time you get it, and you can always better your situation later because, like we said, what comes up comes down.
Exactly. I mean, she's waiting for the rates to get down, and she'll refinance her house.
You're in the game. That's what matters. You're working. Every dollar you spend is going back to you. Every time you make a mortgage payment, a percentage of that is going back to you.
Yes.
Back to you. So when you turn around and sell that house in 5 years, 10 years, or whenever it is,
you'll go back to you.
You've got the equity because the house is valued more, and whatever you've already paid goes back into you. So now you can put that into your next home.
Pay your own mortgage, not somebody else's.
Exactly. So please get it done and talk to these folks here. So, well, thank you guys.
Thank you for
I'm sure you got a few.
Well, thank you for having me. This
anytime.
was fun.
She was all nervous.
She was all nervous.
Just
be you.
But I'm sure you got a few fires to put out right now, so I'll let you go do that. In that world, there's always probably 12 people blowing your phone. Oh my gosh, I need this right now. They're going to buy. What are you going to do? Yeah, I'm sure you got that all day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime. It is 9:59. Quick break before I get kicked off the radio. Don't go away.
The Portales Summer Jam is coming to the ENMU campus courts Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. This 3-on-3 youth basketball and pickleball tournament is open to all ages and skill levels. Registration is only $25 per person with military and student discounts available, plus trophies, prizes, music, food, and more. Space is limited, so head for portales.com or call 575-356-8541 for more info and to sign up today. The Portales Summer Jam, Saturday, July 27th, starting at 9 a.m. on the ENMU courts, presented by the Roosevelt County Community Development Corporation. This ad paid in part by Portales, New Mexico Lodgers Tax.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to smart home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber to home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has